8.
7, 6.
What do I do with my hands?
Just
What do I do?
We should all go
cup your face.
hello, welcome to Color Circuit. You are watching Screen Source here every Sunday at 3 p.m. MST. We talk about television news, movie news, reviews. We watch some trailers, lots of fun stuff. My name is Dylan.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessica.
Do we go? Is it?
I think it's
Yeah, it's a circle.
I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
But Scott had more to say about his name.
Sorry.
All right,
Go try it again.
We'll get this right next week. I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
All right. Cool.
Let's start all over. I'm Dylan.
No.
I'm
No.
Bitch. Okay.
Anyways, we're going to be
ruined
talking about a ton of different things today, like Star Wars, a Rian Johnson trilogy, Justice League, a couple trailers that came out this week that I'm excited about, and other things. So let's just get started right. Oh, wait, do you have an advertisement you'd like to make?
This week I went to Satellite Coffee. I figured satellite, it makes a lot of sense for us. You know, satellite TV.
Correct.
We watch stuff on the internet, and sometimes the internet. I don't know if there's satellites involved with the internet.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
it's-
absolutely.
You know, it
Oh,
just
yeah.
makes a lot of sense for I think our show in particular. So hopefully you guys are watching, and you will you'll give us that sponsorship that we've been going after. A lot of places have passed us up, and that was a mistake on their part.
This is
Big
a good
mistake.
fit. I feel this
Yeah.
is a good
And,
fit.
This is the place.
but
This is the
it's-
one.
But one mistake is another opportunity, is what my mom always said. So sponsor Screen Source, Satellite Coffee.
Don't drop the ball, satellite.
It says Flying
Don't
Star
drop
on
the
it.
satellite.
Is that the same thing?
It's the same
It's
company.
the same company.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I think Flying Star is the parent company, and Satellite is
Satellite's
the
like
child.
Flying Star without the sandwiches and salads. It's mostly just coffee and desserts and stuff.
They do have sandwiches and some salads, but just not as much.
What?
They do.
I
Do
haven't
they
been
have
to
this
Satellite in a
Buddha Bowl?
while.
Is that the same place?
That's
Nope.
Flying Star.
Okay. Well, it's same company.
No.
Yeah.
You
Go
clear
there
that
to
up
find
for us.
out.
Yeah. Go to your local satellite and ask them these questions and get back to us.
And if you pass us up, we're gonna go in there like Pretty Woman and say, "Look at me now."
Big mistake.
Yep.
Huge
Yeah.
Huge.
mistake.
Huge. Yeah. Anyway.
So movies, probably. Yeah. Next.
Big,
Maybe.
Movies.
Big fan of those.
We could talk about those, yes. All right, so I think the first topic is my topic. It is Jason's favorite thing to talk about. It is the Star Wars series, the Star Wars movies, the franchise, your franchise of
I'm
choice.
just going to say this really quick, and then I'm not going to say anything else. It's just
Okay.
every week there's something new, and it's exhausting.
Yep.
Ryan
get
Johnson,
that,
I
yeah.
love you. Actually, I don't know yet. I'll find out next month. Ryan Johnson's the director of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. And it was announced by Disney CEO
Bob Iger.
this past week. I don't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. That Ryan Johnson is now going to take Star Wars and create another trilogy out of it, and it is outside of the Skywalker family, though, so that should make you a little happier. Nope. Okay. It is supposed to be. It is our, I guess, like first foyer. Is that the French word?
Could
Like
be. Depends
moving.
on what
Like
you're.
foyer, like an entryway to a house.
Like it's our first entryway to a house outside of the Skywalker family. I am
Foray.
stoked about it.
Foray.
Foray. Foray.
A-Y.
That's what I was
Like
saying.
I think we all learned something today.
I learned a little French.
We learned that Dylan doesn't know anything about vocabulary or the English language.
We should have never corrected him. Foyer.
Oh yes.
I am so excited about this, and on top of that, Disney's new streaming service, which comes out, I believe, December of 2018. They've talked about that being as a release
So
month.
it's a while.
Yes, I think we still have a year. Disney's releasing their own streaming network, and it's going to have probably plenty of Star Wars and plenty of Marvel stuff. One of the things that they mentioned is that it will have a live-action Star Wars TV series, which has that existed before?
live action Star
Star
Wars?
Wars?
No.
Yes. I don't
like
think
they
so
had like
either.
TV specials. And
Yeah, the
Right.
yeah.
Which were all
They had
really
the
bad, I
Ewok
guess.
one,
Yeah.
a couple other probably bad ones.
Is Rian Johnson involved with the TV series?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No. But I made this, so I was kind of proud of it.
That
I
is
just
nice,
wrote a
yeah.
Rian Johnson trilogy in the middle. It didn't take that much work.
It's still good.
Thank you,
All right.
Scott.
Don't be putting
It's my
yourself down.
It's my foyer into that logo.
Use that
making.
use that word as much as you want.
Thank you,
You
thank
make
you.
me cringe every time you use it, but it's fine.
Does this make you cringe? Or are you excited?
No, I'm excited. I think it speaks to how confident they must be in
Yeah.
episode 8. If before it's coming out, they're already like wanting this director to continue to make more
Yeah.
Star Wars
3
films.
more movies? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a contract that he already signed? Yeah.
Possible. I mean, if they're telling us about it, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
that's
I'm sure
already
you're right.
inked.
Yeah.
I mean, Rogue One was
Ironclad.
really good. It was still sort of connected to the universe
Right.
that
Yeah.
the Skywalkers are in, but I think it was really good. So I think if it's kind of in that same vein, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've been trying to do this for a while, is to like tell other stories within that world. It's just so hard to break free of like the narrative that everyone's familiar with.
Sure.
Well, and here's the
I-
thing: they've done it with books and they've done it with the animated series,
But
They just
never with
haven't-
the movies.
but never with the movies.
Yeah.
And this is what's most important to most people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Are you excited? You excited?
absolutely.
You said you weren't going to say anything.
I'm going to add one thing, and it's this. I hope that it's not about anything to do with some sort of a war, and it's just like
It's
how
the
people spend
title.
their life. Like,
Ah.
what do they eat? What's like a typical day like for an average person in the Star Wars world? Like,
Yeah. So you want to see?
It has nothing to do with
no, it's just like
conflict, like huge epic conflict.
Yeah, like
you
a
want to see you
situational
want to see a Zach
comedy.
Braff movie?
Yeah.
As in Star Wars.
Sure.
No one
Okay.
wants that.
So like alien on a Vespa trying to find himself
Yeah, with a sweet
into
soundtrack.
the shins.
That would
That'd
be pretty
awesome.
awesome, I have to say.
Scott, what do you think?
Oh, I'm all for it. So Rian Johnson did do Rogue One.
No.
Okay.
This is his first one. Is episode 8, and nobody's seen it.
What
Yeah.
else has Rian Johnson done?
Ryan Johnson has done a few movies. Looper was probably his biggest
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Brick.
With
Which I liked.
Brick is my
Brick was
favorite
really
of
good.
his.
Interesting.
Brick
Okay.
was his first feature film.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
It's really good. You guys should all check it out.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I don't remember liking it, but I'm willing to watch it again.
I think
I
you
saw it
need
when
to
it like
give another
first
chance.
came out.
Yeah, you
like
need to
when
give
I
it
was
another
like
chance.
16.
It's like a modern film noir set in a high school, and it's
Interesting.
I feel like it's like how you lived your high school. I
Yeah.
feel like it was your high school
yeah, I
experience.
was solving murders.
Yes.
all the time.
Wasn't
Lousy
there
with-
like a secret room in the school or something?
I don't remember. I just remember being really impressed by it. He also did The Brothers Bloom, which I didn't see.
Oh,
I saw
okay.
that. It's good.
I don't know. I think he's good. I'm excited to see what he can do with Star Wars.
Because
Yeah.
Me
it
too.
does need this sort of new
Oh yeah.
bit of life, because we've done the Skywalker thing to death. This is your destiny. Blah 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 blah.
The damn Death Star every
Right?
single
Yeah,
time.
exactly. So
sick of it.
Get
yes,
another
let's go to a different
of ship.
like realm
Like a
or different
triangle.
planet, different family, different saga or whatever.
Most importantly, with what you said, like kind of piggybacking off that, no goddamn Death Star.
That's what I just
Yeah.
said. No
Yeah.
Death Star.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
That is,
We're done.
I'm
We're done with the Death Star.
piggybacking on it. Hello, Mirage.
Don't
He
get-
says, or she, I think I'm the only one who doesn't like Kylo Ren. He reminds me too much of Professor Snape from Harry Potter.
And you don't like him for that reason?
That should be the
Professor
reason why
Snape's
you
the
like him.
bomb.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Kylo
professor.
Ren's kind of like
He
the
needs to
emo
be young
Professor
Snape.
Snape.
Young Snape.
Yeah.
Turns out
Yeah.
this is how the universes are connected. Actually, they're gonna make a giant Star Potter.
Crossover.
That's a
Star
good- that was
Star
a-
Potter.
I don't know if you could cast
Star
better
Potter.
than that.
Harry
Wars.
Wars.
Harry Ward. That's another thing. I think.
I think that's a porn, guys. I don't think that's.
Anyways, let's
so-
move on to our next topic. What are we
Alright.
what are we looking at today?
Okay, yes. Disney ends their LA Times ban after critic backlash. This is continuing coverage. Screen source.
This just in.
That's
hot off
right.
the press.
We blew this story apart last week, and now Disney is buckling to the pressure. So, from last week, the LA Times had wrote some critical of Disney articles, like kind of exposés about their dealings with local politics. in Southern California, Anaheim to be specific. And so Disney said, LA Times, you can't pre-screen our movies for reviews. So other media outlets like the AV Club and other newspapers have said, okay, we're not going to pre-screen Disney movies either until you,
Take
Disney,
the LA Times back.
lift this LA Times ban. And throughout the week, there was also, I think, 4 different awards boards, like for different sort of awards, like LA and
I think there were Critics Awards.
yeah,
mostly.
Critics Awards
Yes.
have said we will not consider Disney films until this ban has been lifted. So basically, Disney buckled under the pressure and lifted the LA Times ban. This is all kind of within this past week. This has
Nice.
happened.
It's like popular Disney movie, The Newsies, but in reverse.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a good parallel. Actually,
They're the Hearst in this.
That's right.
Scenario,
They,
and they get taken down by the Newsboys.
Mr. Pulitzer and all that bullshit.
Pul-
yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
I have 3 things to say.
and all that.
all that jazz.
One that I forgot to mention. I think I mentioned it last week. Their new subscription-based service is supposed to be significantly cheaper than Netflix. And Netflix is
Significantly cheaper.
Netflix is
like
they haven't named a
$11.
price.
It'll be like
no,
$5
Netflix's minimum
probably.
price I think is $9.
So significantly. That
my
tells
guess
me
is
it's
half?
like $2. If it's $2,
You'll
Then
I'll
you're
do
getting
it.
it.
And I
You're
got
gonna do it
Disney in
either
my
way.
pocket.
no, I won't.
The second thing
Gonna go
that I
off
want to
the
mention
grid.
is Disney. Holy shit, you've been fucking up a lot. Disneyland, they had an outbreak
Yes.
recently too. That's a whole other thing.
Outbreak of what?
It's some sort of
forget
lung
what.
Legionnaires disease.
Legionnaires
Legionnaires.
disease. That's
What the
right.
fuck?
Yeah.
So you
Really?
get it from stale water going through these like AC systems and stuff. And this is the second time it's happened.
They've had to shut down like 2 cooling towers
Yeah.
to stifle this.
and somebody died already.
Jesus.
And they
I will
think
be there in like 3 weeks.
Scott,
Get your shit together.
make sure you wear one of those
Hopefully.
masks.
It's my birthday weekend. Don't fuck it up.
we should all talk about how much we love Scott because it might be the last time we see him.
Oh,
Scott.
Scott, I love you.
Just
Don't
want you to
die.
know. If you don't make it
Scott,
back from
please.
Disneyland,
Please get a face mask. Please. Invest in a face mask.
we'll continue to do the show.
Well, yeah.
Keep going. In your honor.
What I want is like a best of, like little I will remember
Montage?
you montage
Just
of
like
like
your
2, 3 episodes.
It'll be and we'll take the audio of you doing Tom Petty.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll put it
I,
over.
your own.
I have given you
so
everything
done.
you need. Goodbye, everyone.
You shouldn't have broke the Disney story, Scott.
That's
and
right.
then gone
yeah.
to Disneyland.
Now they're gonna give you Legionnaires on purpose. They're gonna plan it
yeah.
so that you have it.
I'll show up in their like security cameras, like that one.
Legionnaires sounds like a new area, like Legionnaires Land. Welcome to Legionnaires.
Yeah.
To Legionnaire.
Legionnaires land.
Spit off
Where
a
all the
plane.
I hope you
Gonna
enjoy
die.
your flight tonight on Legionnaire.
It's Disney's hospice program.
I just want to say this. I feel like this is how we know society is crumbling when like Disney can't even like keep its shit together. We're all screwed.
They're the
Disney
closest
can't-
to like a new world order
Yeah.
is
Right.
Disney.
Mhm.
I was also very surprised that other companies like AV Club and these critical critic awards jumped on board
Yeah.
to defend the LA Times.
Yeah.
Because with LA Times getting less press, that means more time for them and more people viewing
Right.
their stuff. But I'm very happy that they band together and like, no, this is our brother in journalism.
This
you can't
is,
do this.
I mean, this isn't as blatant as a politician manipulating a newspaper, but this is suppression of the press.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that if this doesn't go unchecked, like everyone banding together, it can get way worse.
Yeah.
So the fact that everyone saw what was happening, be like, no, that's bullshit.
Right.
All they were doing was reporting on your fucking up. Like
Yeah.
you as a company, you getting your hands dirty. They were doing their job as a newspaper and reporting on it.
Right. And
And
Disney
they
as
need
the
to be able to
company
do
can has the legal right to say you can't talk about our stuff anymore than you can, but we're not going to show you pre-screenings.
Right.
But it's not like morally okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like to suppress the media for something as, you know, some might say trivial, you know, reviewing movies, but that can snowball into worse things to where all of our media is controlled by the 2 or 3 corporations of lizard people that control this whole world, whatever.
It's true.
Yeah, so
I've heard of it.
I agree.
we all listen
Queen
to the
Elizabeth.
right podcasts.
Yeah.
By
Lizard
the way,
person.
I'm getting a little high off this Sharpie over here. So
Is it
just
closed?
if I act
Pass it-
weird
pass it
today,
down.
you guys know.
Share the
Why?
wealth.
Here,
Take a hit.
take a Sharpie hit, pass it down,
I actually made that note, so I'm good on the.
puff, puff, pass.
on the
I hate it.
snippet.
I
It
hate
is
it.
kind of encouraging that even as like a corporation as big as Disney can still
Can still foil.
yeah.
That does make me happy.
It's a
That
potent
that-
strain of
it
shit.
makes me happy to know that Disney is
Offer to the
not
people.
is
Opium of the mass.
yeah that they are capable of falling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that they.
because they almost seem invincible right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like a Death Star,
There's always
Disney
the
too
weak
can be
point.
destroyed.
that's right. They have a
That's
flaw.
right.
They have an air duct we can shoot a bomb into, and then boom. That's
Yeah.
right.
Let's just bring Legionnaires to Disney. Disney headquarters. All right, next topic.
Oh gosh.
Kevin,
Oh.
I think this one's
So-
yours.
Oh, it's you.
And
I
I'm
thought it was
okay.
Jason.
So just some more fallout from the whole Hollywood sexual harassment assault.
Your favorite topic?
My no, no, I can't say that. There's been some repercussions. Louis C.K. just this week, the New York Times published an expose of several women who came forward and said that he had forced them to watch him masturbate.
Yeah.
This came right at the same time as his new movie was about to be released, a movie that was sort of an homage to another famous Hollywood
I love you, Daddy.
Pervert.
pervert, Woody
Yeah.
Allen, which is just like, that's a ballsy move, Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Real
He's a ballsy guy.
He could have shelved it for a while.
He's
till
he's
stuff
literally
blew up.
ballsy.
Yeah.
Because he takes his balls out.
I mean,
a lot.
obviously, though, this,
Hi-yo.
obviously, this date had a release, or this movie had a release date and all, and had been in production way before all this stuff started.
True.
He made it
Yeah.
last
True.
year, but the thing is, all the stuff that had been happening, like he knows his own past.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so to make that movie
In the first place.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
But he thought he was
seems to
invincible.
be.
I mean,
and-
yeah.
He's the Disney of stand-up. Sorry.
Well, it seems to be. It seems like he's never like knowing his other material. Like throughout his career, it seems like he's always been shirting. Is that the word? Shirting the subject.
Foyer.
Foyer.
Skirting.
Skirting.
Yeah.
Shirting.
To look at a lot of
Skirting the issue. Yeah.
Skirting the. He's always been right walking that little tightrope.
Yeah.
And so he's been kind of bold about it without coming out and saying anything. And apparently these accusations have been kind of
they've been
floating around
for years.
for a while
yeah.
now.
I remember hearing a couple months ago. I think
Right.
I think it was the AV Club that I read had reposted like a blog post. But anyway, so it was gonna come out eventually, and it did come out at a
Yeah.
very bad time for him. His movie will not be released. And then Kevin Spacey, he also is having his own consequences to face. They'd finished filming this movie.
This is a great story.
I forget what
Yeah.
the movie is.
It's the new. It's a big director too. But yeah.
Star Wars Episode 9.
It's not that.
However,
it's
the
a-
odds were good. It could have been a Star Wars movie at this point.
So I should have looked up what movie it was, but basically, even though they finished filming the movie and he'd already filmed his role, they're recasting him and filming all of his scenes over with Christopher Plummer.
Did you see that
playing the
there
role.
was a petition? It was like 3,000 signatures for Kevin, the guy that Paul Blart,
Oh yeah, Kevin.
James.
Kevin
James,
James.
yeah.
There was like a lot of signatures to have him replace.
And
Should've
but
been
for Game of
insane.
Thrones, they were like, have Game of Thrones, but instead of Kevin Spacey,
mean
Kevin James.
House of Cards.
Have whatever.
Ridley Scott is
Ridley
the director.
Scott.
Ridley Scott directed the movie. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, he
So
is a big...
they are pushing to get all of Kevin Spacey's scenes reshot before the late
They're
December.
not even changing the release date, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
and apparently it's it's in the millions of dollars to do this reshooting,
Wow.
which is just insane. I don't like how are they even able to like they're just like, oh, we got the budget now to have millions of more dollars. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like production wise, that sounds crazy.
Well, but I mean, how many people after this, we're going to be willing to go see a movie with Kevin Spacey.
Sure.
So,
So the production company put up more money.
yeah, you're spending more money now, hopefully, so that
You'll make
and
it
then
back.
also the curiosity factor of now, like, oh, let's go see.
What if they leave like one frame out? I don't know. It'd just be
Well,
funny.
this is like one of those. Like, I would like to see a movie about this situation. Like, we have a main, we have a main actor. Yeah, we have a main actor who's in a scandal. He's our star of our bit. There's a lot of money riding on this. We have to recast him in 5 weeks or something. I want to see that movie of what's happening right now because I think that'd be a great story.
I think we're going to see that for sure. Just like we're seeing 9/11 movies
I mean,
now.
there's going to be
Right.
documentaries. There has to be documentaries about this that are going to come out.
Oh, yeah.
I just know it.
Hollywood will capitalize. And then there's other people in the news too, right?
There are, just what, day
Brett
before
Ratner.
yesterday?
2 nights ago, you and we had a long conversation.
George Takei. There's been some allegations that came out.
Did you guys see his post the following day on
Twitter?
Facebook?
Was it
He had
Twitter
a
or
long
Facebook?
long Facebook post.
Oh, I read his post on Twitter. But
I'm sure it's actually the same now because Twitter doubled their
the
allowance for
280
characters.
characters.
But it was I'm appalled. I don't even remember meeting this person. My husband is defending me and is with me on this. I'm gonna fight this. It just didn't happen. Yeah.
And he's been very outspoken about these allegations coming forward about other people. So
God,
that
read those
one-
Facebook comments. They're brutal. Some of them are like, like very like, oh, we're hopeful. We hope you didn't. Or, I'm with you. I
Right.
believe you no matter what. Which is kind of insane. But like, and then other ones that are just like
hate speech.
Ooh.
Pretty much.
No, but even some of them just like I don't know. Yeah, it's just read them. They're awful.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, we've talked about this topic a lot,
Sure.
and we're going to continue to be talking about it for a while. I'm sure. I just think it's.
We'll put it into our 5-minute fun show for Facebook.
Well, I mean, you know what? It's like we opened a Pandora's box, and like, what did people think was going to happen? Like now, it's just everyone feels safe finally to come out with these things, and I think we have to. I hate to say it, but I feel that we have to believe the people that were supposedly victimized.
I think they should get the
we have to
benefit of the
believe-
doubt.
Yeah, by,
benefit of the doubt.
by default, we have to give them
Yep.
their space and believe that what
Right.
they're doing. Yeah.
I think
So-
that it's good to see that there are some consequences happening, like losing movies and not having your film released. Gal Gadot announced that she will not sign on for the next Wonder Woman
That's the
movie.
next
if Brett
topic.
Ratner,
Was
That
he-
is
sorry.
actually the next topic. Which is
Well, we'll
awesome.
get to that.
We're getting to that.
Anyway,
Yeah. No.
It's
Yeah.
just
We
this
had
is
like
happening.
we talked till like 4 a.m. the other
Yeah.
night.
Which
about
is
this.
which is I think it really feels to me like more and more, and it not that it hasn't already, but it's really just every day it feels like 2017 is really like such a cultural moment for this country. I was listening to somebody who was saying that with Donald Trump's election that with Donald Trump's election that like because he was able to get away with so much that it's like it's almost this reaction for people to be like, you know what, like that's not okay. You know, we let this person become president after these horrible accusations, and so it's almost this reaction to and I think history will look back on this era as like a tumultuous time, but also like a real a time of real progress.
Yeah.
Which we need. Like that, and yeah, that conversation was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had really good
Excellent
talk.
conversation.
I think I left prematurely for that because I had too much of downtown. And I was like, I need to get the fuck out. After that woman almost killed her dog with that door, people were yelling. It's like, I'm done. I'm going to go home and
Downtown
cry myself to
Albuquerque.
sleep. Yeah.
You gotta stop going to that bar, guys.
Just killing dogs downtown.
God, an adorable dog.
It's a real mess down there.
You with that dog too? You're like, is
Yeah,
this your dog? Like you were
Nope.
being so
Jason's
nice.
like the dog whisperer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he immediately like got into cuddle mode. He's like,
Yeah.
It was
He's just
freaking
like,
out. It was like shaking, and I was
and then
like,
she came in and called it like an asshole or something.
this
Like,
little
fuck
asshole
you.
over here.
You can have it. And you're like, what?
just kidding. Just kidding. Fuck you guys. You can't have it. It was like, okay. Get out of here, lady. You're
So
crazy.
Hey, it's our fault. We're at a bar on a Saturday night or Friday night at 2 a.m.
we got to stop going to that bar.
We gotta start going.
Yep.
It's too loud. You can't have a conversation regardless.
People-
Anyway,
people
this
like
doesn't
ki-
concern you. But
bigger fish.
Anyway, continue. Next topic.
Well, we can go on to the next topic, which Kevin ruined.
Oh,
Well,
it's
it
fine.
sort of, like,
He didn't
segues
ruin
into it.
That's why I
it's
put
a
it
good-
next.
It's a
Yeah.
good segue. So Gal Gadot is saying that she will not star in Wonder Woman 2 if Brett Ratner is involved because his production company, I believe, is involved. And so, Rat Pack Dune Company. That's his company. And so I know, right? So she's saying that and I think she has the power to do this. She's the star of Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah,
Like she can do this. She has the power.
It was
so
a
hopefully,
big movie. Yeah.
she's one of the most
She's
like.
lifting a tank.
Yeah.
She's
Don't fuck with
really
her.
strong, guys.
What's
Do not
interesting
mess with her.
about this is that usually with male stars, when they sign on to play like Batman or Superman, they sign them for multiple films at a time, and so like they didn't do that with her because they weren't sure because it's Wonder Woman. Is it going to do well? And so she'd only signed on for one film. If
So
she was in contract to do multiple films, she wouldn't
Right.
have this power now to.
So she did it a la carte. So she can be
Correct.
like, hey, I can fuck off if
Right.
I don't like it. Yeah.
And she
did it all in
and
mode,
he
guys.
took home, Brett Ratner took home a lot of money for Wonder Woman, for the first Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I don't want him to get any money for the second movie.
And she took away like pennies on his dollars.
Right.
She
Exactly.
got paid very little for this movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially, we had talked about this a long time ago that she got paid substantially less than like a lot of the other
In my head, it
Marvel
was something in like the
and DC
300,000 or
actors.
something like
Yeah,
that,
something
which is
ridiculous.
insane for how much this movie made.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
could be wrong, but it was significantly low.
It was really low. But anyway,
And that's the even bigger subject of how little
Hollywood.
actresses get paid compared to
Compared to
actors,
actors.
Yeah.
or female lawyers compared to male lawyers, and like,
yeah, just the
But also,
inequity of the system.
all actors are getting paid way too much.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
Not
yeah,
all
that's not the
actors.
idea.
They ain't
Yeah.
tarring roofs.
Jason, just the big name ones. I think
What about Jason?
I was saying not all actors get paid too much.
Oh yeah.
I get paid way too much.
Look at that haircut. That's $1 million haircut.
Travesty.
Yeah. Well,
You should see my
said
apartment.
It, so it's
Oh, you didn't
fine.
bring your glasses.
I live next to a castle.
You do.
You do actually. He's not telling lies out of school, kids.
And you
I
hear
live in a
ghosts at
dumpster
night,
right
so-
next to a castle.
Asshole.
Yeah.
We got hot take Jason
Ooh,
with his
shit.
hot haircut.
I live next to
back.
a castle.
Oh my god.
Next topic, please.
Well, just
Clip
one more
that.
thing
Oh,
about
sorry,
this
go ahead,
one.
go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did anybody read Ellen Page's post about?
No, but I heard about
I
it.
heard about it.
Go ahead.
She talked about Brett Ratner and when she was working on one of the X-Men movies that he was involved with.
Oh yeah, he said something terrible. to
Yeah,
her.
he said like for some other woman who was, I don't know if she was in the movie or,
It was like to blink.
but she was like, why don't you fuck Ellen Page so that she knows that she's gay or something.
Yeah, something.
And this is when she was like
abhorrent.
a teenager,
Yeah,
like was not
Jesus
ready to like
Christ.
come out.
yeah.
I love
And-
Ellen.
You're talking about Ellen
Ellen
Page,
Page.
right?
And DeGeneres.
And
She's
Ellen
great
DeGeneres.
too. Yeah.
Is that-
Most
She's
Ellens.
talking about all Ellens.
All
Ellen.
I will say most because there
Yeah.
might be some shitty Ellens out
There's
there.
some good Ellens.
The
though.
Ellens I know, I like.
yeah, I have nothing but positive association
With
with the
Ellen.
name Ellen.
Helen, on the other hand.
It's bad.
I never had a good Helen.
Of Troy? I mean, come on, guys. It started off on the wrong foot.
What a bitch.
Anyway, it's very worth reading this post that she wrote on Facebook. Go read it.
All right.
That's
I
all have to
will.
say.
Oh, well.
I like her, so.
Yeah.
All right. I think Kevin next is your topic.
No,
It's
it's
not, but I'll
Jason.
It's
talk
not.
about
It's
it.
Jason. I switched you guys
Big
up.
Little Lies season 2 is probably happening. It's not been confirmed, but for some reason there were news outlets saying that it's probably going to happen.
Cool.
I think that Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon have already said that they're going to do it, and I think Reese Witherspoon just dropped out of a movie project that she was in to be in Big Little Lies 2,
Yeah.
season 2. Some controversy about this because it just won a bunch of Emmys as a miniseries, which if it has a second season, it will no longer be a miniseries. So they're saying that the Emmys might have to change their rules about like how you classify yourself because they think maybe some series are like strategically trying to like put themselves in certain categories so that they have a better chance at.
Okay. Like a
Yeah, like
strategic.
Ryan Murphy's been doing that for a while with his. 'cause it's
exactly.
Like, well, it's an anthology, so every season is a different thing, but it's like it's still a
Right, it's a recurring thing that's happening.
It's a television show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they think the second season is. The rumor is that it's going to be about Zoe Kravitz's character's backstory, and because you didn't get to really,
Yeah,
she
was
comes
kind of
out.
the sidelines for most of the first season.
She comes out at the end with a bang,
Yeah.
and
I
so
love
Big
her
Bang.
so much.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Have you guys seen?
No, I have
you guys,
not.
You guys will
Me
go.
I
too.
want
You
to.
watch it, but
Super
it's
good.
great.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Is it? It's HBO.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Just more Laura
not TV.
Dern screaming.
Gosh, so good.
I don't know these two girls in the middle.
Shailene Woodley and Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Shailene was.
Have they been in
I
other
really like
things?
Shailene. Yeah, Shailene Woodley has been in. She was in those Divergent movies.
Yeah. The not
okay.
Hunger Games.
She was.
That's what they should have called
The
it.
copying Hunger
They didn't
Games.
even finish those.
Maze
so-
Runner, but
No, I heard
kind
like
of
they were
the same.
gonna do like a TV movie to like, finish it with like
That's
all
so
new
sad.
cast.
Because they have like
Not
one
gonna
more
happen.
Divergent movie to do or something, and they're not going to do it. Or
Trivergent.
funny.
Bigger Little Lies.
because it's
Bigger,
like
littler.
Guys,
Bigger,
I have drank too
littler
much green
lies.
tea. I need a bathroom.
Okay. And Zoe Kravitz was in Mad Max Fury Road.
Huh?
You were
Oh
asking
yeah,
who-
she was one of
yeah.
the like not princesses, the wives. Yes, one of
She's
the wives.
also the son or daughter,
Of-
daughter of Lenny
Lenny.
Kravitz.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leonard Kravitz,
Mr. Leonard
the
Kravitz.
coolest man in the world.
Yeah, he wrote that USA song, I think. Nope.
That was Bruce Springsteen.
America? He wrote America.
Well, no, he did a cover of American Woman,
That's what I'm thinking of.
and that was
a cover.
The Guess Who.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought that was his song.
No. Anyway,
Who was in Hunger Games?
that's true.
He was in
Lenny
Hunger Games.
Kravitz was in the Hunger Games. He was
Bringing it back full
Was
circle.
she in? I think she was in the Divergent movies too.
Lenny.
Zoe?
Oh,
Yeah. She was
could
like her
be.
friend. I saw the first.
Oh, yeah. I
Big
think-
Little Lies is pretty much just the Divergent series.
Yeah, it's just not in a dystopian society. It's
Just
in a
like
nice,
the Lion King is the
Macbeth,
nope.
Hamlet.
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 No, they were all in Civil War. Captain
Yes,
America: Civil
that's
War.
right.
It's the same,
This
but
is
that's
the
everything's
same thing.
Hamlet.
Everything's Hamlet.
This was Hamlet.
I want to watch this. I mean, yeah,
It's a great,
watch.
It's really well done.
I liked it a
And
lot.
it
I
was
surprised.
based on one book, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's one book.
and that's probably why they maybe initially thought, oh, a miniseries, we're going to tell the story of the book. But then it was a huge hit, and they're like, we got these characters. Let's.
Yeah, the director of the first series of the first season, I guess now, has said he won't be coming back because he thinks it's really dumb to do a second.
Oh,
Oh, he doesn't like the idea. of-
Because it is based on one book and they covered all the territory.
Who was the director? It was
I have some French name that
Ryan Johnson.
he did Wild with Reese Witherspoon, Dallas Buyers Club. I forget his
They
name.
don't sound like my
Let me
kind of
look it up.
movies.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Or Wild.
Uh,
Yeah.
Dallas Buyers Club was good.
What?
Yeah, it was.
Wild.
His name is Foyer a la mode, I think.
yes.
Yes.
Next topic.
Next.
Headlines, etc. Who wants to take the first one?
I'll take it.
These are kind of topics that we're not going to go into depth.
A record-breaking number of LGBTQ characters appeared on TV in 2017. Awesome.
Yeah.
Progress. Progress.
Finally, some good news.
Yeah, that's great. Universal turns out the lights on its dark universe.
Yeah, so if you guys
That is so.
Bigger applause. Yeah.
So if you guys don't know what that's about, Universal last year announced that they were going to start this monster shared
it's
dark
done already?
universe. And the first movie of that series, which I don't know that it was their initial
Mummy.
intention to do it, was the Mummy reboot. And the Mummy did so poorly that they basically canceled this whole universe.
This pisses
Like
me
they
off.
It was
already,
going to be the Black Lagoon. What's it called?
Creature
Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Blue
Frankenstein, Dracula,
Invisible Man.
Invisible
Yeah.
Man.
Wrong choice, Universal. You should have stuck with it because there's so much potential. I want to see
yeah.
like Dracula and Frankenstein and
That
like,
would be really cool.
This is a
Civil
this
War.
whole universe.
Between them,
Yeah. who's on whose side. Creature from the Black
If
The
they
Mummy
kill
just
off
turns,
all
like,
the
super
DC
big.
characters, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like as long as they kill off everyone in this.
The Invisible Man. Who's he gonna be? Whose side? Is he on? You don't know.
He's
Yeah.
both.
Yeah,
He doesn't show up to meetings.
He turns into. He doesn't show up to meetings.
Like, where is he?
I thought he was on your side.
Doesn't
Ah,
even
fuck
care.
yeah.
He's also mute in this universe. Universal owns all these properties. I mean, they started this universe when, in the 20s?
Yeah, these are like the first like horror
Movies.
movie. Yeah, like before there was sound. Like yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, isn't it? Is it silent? No, it's old.
No, I mean there's some, but I mean
Like
that
a lot
was
of versions of them.
Okay.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
really old films, but they're timeless. They're
Right.
yeah. It's really cool to have them in your arsenal and to not use them as a
Well,
waste.
so apparently it's like it wasn't. They haven't actually like made it official, like it's over. But like they're like on 2 or 3 different productions, and they all just kind of fell apart.
Oh.
Like directors started going to other things, actors started doing other things, and so it's just like they just don't think this is going to happen anymore. Jurassic World on Skull Island director, screenwriter Derek Connolly to write Metal Gear Solid. For those of you that don't know what Metal Gear Solid is, it is a video game franchise that's been around for a very long time, since PlayStation 1. I'm going to say like 95?
Right, and I mean there were Metal Gear games for the Nintendo, so it's like an old. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I
There's
don't think I knew that.
but Solid they added that when like PlayStation was
Okay.
a thing.
Okay. So, but yeah, they're great games. Kind of this espionage thing, and it's military. And the series we're on the 5th game right now, Phantom Pain, and the series just goes batshit crazy. And like it's like very fantastical, and there's like men that are like on fire, and it's like, but it's very cool looking.
It's like sci-fi elements in this militaristic world. It's really well done. They've always been very plot and story focused.
Yes.
So, like, what wasn't the thing with Metal Gear Solid 4? Like, there's a 45-minute cutscene or something. Like something.
Oh yeah.
Huge like that. Like video games usually don't have that much.
Right, but this has been one that's always like had this huge story behind it, which a lot of them don't. But
That'll be
anyways,
interesting.
yeah, I'm excited for this. I know Jurassic World's Kevin's favorite movie, so it'll probably be good. Go ahead.
Do video game inspired movies always suck?
They do.
Most of the time.
Most of the
Most
time.
of the
I
time.
personally am a fan of Mortal Kombat. I like those Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah, but not because it's good.
right.
Just
yeah.
because it's like
Because it's
cheesy.
fun.
I bet we could count the good video game movies on one hand. Is that?
I don't
how
even
you
think
say-
that.
don't know,
I
that's
think.
one.
I
Maybe
think-
one.
No, I think
Yeah.
universally they're just bad movies.
Right. I don't even get excited for like I liked Resident Evil. I've never seen one of those movies. They just don't look like the games at all. And it's like I don't.
Actually, I
care.
kind of like Resident
Resident
Evil.
Evil is actually pretty good, but it's not great.
But they're not. Yeah, critically they're not good.
Yeah, I'd rather just play the game.
Some of them have been made into some animated series that are okay. Castlevania is a big one on Netflix right now. That's a
Oh,
video
that's
game.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, you want to take the next one?
Yep. Christopher Nolan apologizes for anti-Netflix comments.
Did anybody hear about this?
no.
No.
Okay, so Christopher Nolan, I don't remember how long ago this was, maybe a week ago. Netflix is doing everything wrong. I don't like Netflix. I'm not supporting them because of this reason. They do not, they are anti-movie theater. It's an anti-movie theater thing. What they should be doing is that they should be doing what Amazon does. This idea of releasing movies in the theaters and then 3 months later it comes out on Amazon Prime. And that's what he thinks should be happening. He later this past week, apologized for it and said, "Listen, I'm sticking to it. I'm not going to say that what I said was wrong, but what I didn't say is that Netflix is amazing and they've really moved things forward in many other ways." You know what I mean? So
And then the red dot on his forehead magically went away.
Duh,
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking Bindi when you said that, but I get
right.
it. You were thinking Metal Gear Solid.
Netflix shooters. Yeah. Okay. Netflix, speaking of which, orders a big budget drama docuseries from Jane Root's Newtopia about the Romanovs.
Ah, nice. Anastasia. I'm excited.
I don't know what this is.
She's
knew-
dead.
She's been dead for a long time, but
So the Romanovs, they were like a
Russian
Russian like
empire, like family, right?
Yeah,
They were the
a
ru- ruling
that
family.
ruled in Russia, and then they were overthrown.
They were all murdered.
and they were all murdered. Well, Anastasia.
She was murdered.
but we like to think that she wasn't.
She was
Okay.
murdered. She's
She
dead.
met a cartoon John Cusack, and they fell in love.
No, she was shot
And
as
she
a
had
little
dog
girl.
with floppy ears.
like that
She
Paul
was
Abdul
shot. She
video.
was shot as a little
Let
child.
us have this, Jason. Jeez.
I looked at you after he read this because because Matthew Weiner is also writing a series about the Romanovs. We talked about this a while ago. It was supposed to come out, I think, it's supposed to come out next year. It's supposed to be like a mini series thing, and Matthew Weiner is also now under allegations. Matthew Weiner is the writer for Mad Men. He used to write for Sopranos, big in Hollywood.
Creator of Mad Men.
Creator of Mad Men.
Yeah.
And he came in like second and third season of Sopranos, but we're big fans of this guy. He just released a book this past Tuesday based on this experience that he had of watching a woman getting harassed, actually. But there's allegations right now from his season 6 screenwriter writer for
She
Mad
actually
Men.
won an Emmy for
Yes,
one of her
co-won
episodes.
an Emmy for
Yeah.
writing an episode with him,
Right.
or something like
Something
that.
like that.
And she said that he told her, "I deserve to see you naked."
Right.
And
that is a fucked up.
I don't
thing to
think
say.
I don't think he's
Come on.
said anything in response
Oh.
just yet. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And kind of oddly enough, but also this happened a lot, like towards the end of Mad Men, like season 6 and 7, like they were just like firing all of their writers. And there was a ton of turnover, and I don't think people know why, but they think maybe she was fired because
Interesting.
of this.
Ugh.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. That's how that ties into that. Jessica, you want to take the last one?
Sure. Los Angeles District Attorney launches Hollywood Harassment Task Force. Yay.
Actually,
They're gonna be busy.
Hooray. That's
Yeah.
good. Really good news.
you posted that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you see me write the poop?
Justice League? Yeah, I did.
I love poop. So we do a sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we have a Google Doc, and it's a shared doc, so you could all like type in at the same time or whatever.
Yeah.
He's typing his like topic of the week, and I wrote right in the middle of it, "I love poop," and I could see him on like clearly on his phone going like slowly trying to back, and I keep writing poop.
That's a good bit.
Thank you.
It made me laugh more than it should have. I was just like,
Oh my god.
You're like, what the?
That's funny.
And I can see you like you're obviously not on a keyboard because it's like one letter at a time.
Nope.
I don't like
that was a good bit.
Thank you.
You
Made me
scared me
smile.
one time when I was like putting stuff into the Google Doc, and like you're like changing it, and I was like, what the hell is happening?
I thought I was like auto-correcting. I was like, what? This is auto-correcting to like, I love poop.
I knew Apple devices had that
What the hell's wrong with my
I
phone?
thing, that Apple thing, but anyway.
So you put this in, and it just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this, but I'm just assuming it's going to be like the Justice League or the Avengers, but for taking down serial sexual harassers
Like
in Hollywood.
active people to actually investigate these things and get to
Yeah.
the bottom of them before they become rumors or
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good, great. That's
Great.
what we have to do, unfortunately.
Not to like get back onto this topic because we should move on. But the AV Club just had a piece this week about like this is the long coming moral reckoning of Hollywood because Hollywood's like to like position itself as some like standard of morality.
Right.
Like you watch any Oscars and they're
Sure,
always like,
they're
oh, what we do is so
constantly patting
important
themselves
and
on the
we're,
back.
blah blah blah.
Right.
Like George Clooney gave his Oscar acceptance speech several
Sure.
years ago, and it's just like
What was it?
so self-righteous. I forget, but now it's like you think you're so great. Well,
Republicans are loving this, by the way.
Well, they
'Cause
got their own shit
They've
to deal
hated
with.
Hollywood. Well, yeah, true that, but yeah,
they have.
they've hated Hollywood forever.
Anyway,
I mean, this isn't like I hate saying like
Because
generalizing all
Hollywood's very liberal.
Hollywood as or like the entire movie and
Right,
TV
right.
industry because there are plenty of people who are trying to do good and it's
Sure.
all encompassing
yeah.
industry and to say like there are like obviously bad eggs and we've got to find them and then throw them in the trash.
The idea, though,
But-
I think, is that there might be more bad eggs than we thought there were.
and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
definitely.
system itself that
It
is
definitely
like
is.
enabling and protecting these
Yeah.
bad eggs.
We could have a weekly
Sure,
news
sure,
show
sure.
based on who got busted this week.
Yeah,
like
we could like do like darts and like just start
Yeah,
throwing
like,
them because
probably.
apparently everybody's done something.
Yeah.
Bond said, "I wonder when they'll do this for the theater world." Bond is Vaughn is a theater actor, and I guess
I'm
he's
sure
seen
there's
this a
just
lot.
as much harassment there as there is
Yeah.
anywhere else.
In any industry. This
Maybe
is
we-
not unique to Hollywood.
No, yeah,
I
it's
will
a
s-
societal thing that needs to change. I mean, at the root. So
I will say that it seems like the more famous somebody is, the more attention it's getting, which is natural. But there were a number of other stories that came out this week. Anthony Edwards, former ER, named somebody who was molesting him and raping one of his good friends as one of his theater teachers.
Yeah.
And it went on for years and named somebody, and the accusations were much more severe, but it was one or two stories.
Right.
So it's that's the thing. It's there are obviously people all over the place that are getting shaken out, and we need to shine light on even the smaller names, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll open my Facebook in the morning and I'm like, oh, what name am I going to see today?
Yeah.
'Cause it's expected now.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
On that happy note,
Yes.
Let's go to the next
what's next?
slide.
What do we normally do? We've done this 12. This is episode 12, I think.
12.
Or are we on 13? I
it's
can't remember.
coming
But
soon with now. With
coming
Post
soon now
Tomatoes.
with Post Tomatoes. Post
Post
Tomatoes
Tomatoes-
always comes before.
Pre-tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
I was
Guys.
going to try to steal it from you.
You
We're going to be all right. You know what? We're going to be all right.
It's a
So the idea here is that we talk about every week. We talk about the new movies that are coming out in theaters, or television shows that are coming out for that week, and then we assign them what we think their Rotten Tomato scores are going to be. So last week we had Murder on the Orient Express, Bitch, and Lady Dynamite, season 2. So let's just go down the list. Jessica, what did you think Murder on the Orient Express was going to get?
60%. But we should start with Kevin because Kevin's at the beginning.
Okay.
Well,
Kevin.
it's either way.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get 75%.
I thought 85.
43.
And I thought 87%.
And it was actually
Low, right?
59.
Wow.
I'm
Nice.
surprised.
Nice
Very
job,
I was
surprised.
Jessica.
1% off. So that's
Just
not good.
You have obviously the highest record for
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
you're
You're
always
very good.
winning this.
Bitch, the Netflix originals film. Jessica?
89, I'm sorry, that's Kevin. 76.
I said 89.
I thought it was going to be a smashing hit, a smash hit, 100.
63.
And I said 74.
I'm sorry. So, and Bitch was 58.
58.
That's me. My
That's
God.
you?
That was
It's a
Jason.
Good job.
depressing trend.
So, yeah, you thought it was going to be bad, and it was bad. And you didn't even watch the trailer.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lady Dynamite season 2. Jessica,
I thought it was going to be an 89%.
96%.
91.
I said not rated.
Did I say 100? I don't think I rated it that high. Anyway, apparently this says I said 100, but I don't know. I just don't know anymore.
94.
94. Who's that? Is that me?
No.
Oh,
I
it's
think
Kevin.
Kevin.
You
Yeah.
piece of shit. And it's only gone down. Like it was 100% on Friday, and then it's gone down to 94 cents.
I need to watch it.
But from what I'm
haven't seen
hearing, it's better than the first season.
Great.
I do want to say that I switched my vote to say it will be rated.
Yeah, but then you still didn't give us a rating.
So I won.
Hot take, Jason.
It will be rated.
Those glasses are like 5
I live
sizes
next
too
to a
small,
castle.
might I add.
Child. Children's glasses
That you bought.
that I bought
From the dollar
for our
store.
puppet
For the
For our
puppet.
puppet.
that we never
That
finished.
now has no eyes.
We could actually use the
Jason,
puppet.
you are our new puppet.
We don't
could
even
be our
really even
sixth
need
member.
eyes. Yeah, like we could just put the glasses on.
it'll have an 85.
You can't be the puppeteer.
No,
is what
you're-
I'm learning.
Yes.
I think we should just have a sixth character that is a puppet, a sixth host that's just a puppet.
I think you missed the whole conversation that happened over
That's
here.
literally everything we just said.
Really?
Yeah.
I was.
Every single
You're
word.
being
I
hot
was
take,
hot
Jason.
Jason.
Hot take, Jason.
This is regular
Yeah.
Jason talking.
Hot take,
Okay.
don't care.
Continue.
All right, and coming
I
soon
don't listen.
for this upcoming week, now with Pre-Tomatoes.
Pre-tomatoes.
Comes after.
Post tomatoes.
Okay.
This is a big week. It was actually hard to dwindle down the things that we're watching, or that it's coming on this week. Justice League. This has been this has been everybody's hopeful movie after Wonder Woman. The trailers, I think, look all right.
Meh.
Still a little dark.
The more I see of them, the less I'm interested in them, though.
Yeah,
It's gonna
yeah.
flop, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, hold it, hold it, hold
Sounds
it.
like The Punisher, or Punisher, Marvel's new next original series on Netflix, which is continuing off of all of the stories, right? But
Daredevil.
mostly the Daredevil storyline.
Yeah, he was a big part of season 2 of Daredevil.
Okay.
I didn't like his aspect as much as like first season Daredevil,
Kingpin.
but anyway, yeah, Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, all that stuff.
And then Mudbound, another Netflix original movie, which we watched a trailer for here several weeks back, and I believe we liked it. The trailer?
Yeah, I thought it was a
I
good
thought it
trailer.
was interesting.
Yeah. So I'm interested in a lot of Netflix this week, a lot of superhero stuff this week. Jessica, what do you think? No, let's start this way. Scott, what do you think the Justice League will get in theaters this weekend?
84.
You can only do it as a hot take, Jason.
63.
Tight. I guess some critics have seen it, yeah, because we're only a week out, and it apparently hasn't been getting the best
Oh.
of reviews.
I haven't done research on that
I'm gonna say 78.
50.
Mm.
I'm gonna go a little higher, like 55.
Wow. Oh my gosh, it might be another Suicide Squad flop.
I think so.
Except Suicide Squad has made more money than most movies ever.
Yeah. and there was
Yeah.
supposed
It's
to
like
be
800 million or something.
And there's
just
some
Jesus
rumor that like
Christ.
Yeah.
that Ben Affleck's character, that Batman, is supposed to get together with Wonder Woman, and I'm like, I don't know.
They are kind of teasing that in the trailers a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm
Like I
like,
can see
no.
that. Yeah.
Ben Affleck,
I
no.
don't know. Aquaman looks pretty hot.
I know.
I'd maybe do him over
Ben
Bruce
Affleck,
Wayne. I
yeah,
don't know.
for
I don't
sure.
know.
Yeah.
Punisher.
Punisher. I'll go 75.
73.
77. Oh, wait, what did I say last time? 78.
God, I don't even care. 62.
I'm gonna go 53.
And Mudbound. Netflix original series, November 17th. What are you giving it, Scott?
89.
83.
78.
I was going to say 88.
I'm gonna say 90.
We'll see.
So we have higher hopes
Yeah.
for Mudbound than we do these enormous
Superhero
Got the-
bullshit.
Award season brackets on it.
Yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
Mm.
It looks heavy. Yeah.
it's
And I
not
think-
messing around.
The Toronto Film Festival.
When is that?
It looks like it was already there.
Oh, it was there. Because that was like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
Something like that. When we started this, I think it had just happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the rest of the things that are coming out that we are not rating is The Breadwinner. I don't know what platform or if this is coming out in movies or in the theater or not. But it is a film. It is an animated film. We watched a trailer for it here a while
It's
back.
really good, actually.
Yeah, it's based off of a 177-page children's book. I think like adult children.
Like me.
Young adult.
No, it's
YA.
children. It's a children's book.
okay.
But I think it's
Man,
just
children
older.
everywhere
Man-child.
love this book.
Mythbusters, the reboot, November 15th on Discovery. And I Love You, Daddy, which is
Not
coming
coming
out. I put a big X on it. I feel I feel sorry for everybody that was in this movie. Charlie Day said,
Besides
Do you say you
Louis
don't
CK,
feel
no?
sorry for them?
"Oh no, I feel sorry for them."
You don't
Charlie,
feel sorry for the people who are in the movie that
like Chloe.
I feel
Grace.
sorry for them. Charlie Day said recently.
I think that's harsh. Like, do you feel sorry for the crew people who like worked on the movie?
Wait, I feel sorry. Wait, what?
I'm
Am I-
talking to
Probably
Kevin.
them.
Oh,
But
he. Oh, okay.
all these people, like, you gotta know.
No,
No,
Kevin,
they didn't
come
know.
on.
It
Come
was
on.
an open secret. People knew. People in the entertainment and the comedy community had to have known something, or at least heard about it. And
I
Okay,
feel like
but
that's, I feel
most
like
of these
that's
people
really
are not-
harsh
no,
to say.
most of
Like
these people
anybody associated with them now needs to be crucified as
I'm
well.
not saying that the future movies that they make need to be like. I like a lot of these people,
But he's saying that
like
the
you're saying,
movie-
Chloe Grace Moretz
That's who. Yeah.
needs to know all of Louis
She's
C.K.'s
gonna be
sordid
fine
background, and she
without
should
this
be.
movie. I can't
Well,
take you
she's-
seriously with those glasses. First of all,
I'm leaving them on.
I think you should give the sunglasses to Kevin.
So Chloe Grace Moretz And yeah, it's like hot take Kevin right now. And Charlie Day came out on Facebook recently and said, we are no longer going to advertise this
And
movie,
good for them.
and we're
Well,
sorry
I can
that all this
understand
happened.
that choice, but like I still feel bad for them for taking
I
time
feel-
to work
yeah.
on this movie
Yeah.
that they now don't get to like have any of the
That's a
This
lot
is
of
a waste of everybody's time.
It's a
Yes.
waste of their
Right.
time.
like
Yeah.
you spend
That's
all
the
this
part
time
I feel bad
trying to
about.
create something that now is
Right.
just a waste.
and resources.
Yeah.
And,
If anything, I'm more upset that Louis C.K. did this, and you know, he should be the one to blame for
It's
or
all-
wasting
he
all
is.
of
He
their
is the
time.
one to
you look at
blame.
like how much. I mean, just earlier when you're talking about the millions of dollars that they're spending to reshoot, like there's so many like repercussions on this.
Yeah.
And it's just like the consequences are so
They're staggering.
And-
Yeah,
They're
the
staggering.
resources,
And-
the money.
Louis has had many opportunities to address this.
Yes.
He only chose up until
The day after the expose.
Well, yeah, the names had been named of women who actually were brave enough to come forward and say, this happened to me. Then he was like, all right, it happened. But before then, he was like, those are rumors, and I'm not going to give weight
Right.
to those rumors. He had many chances to be a bigger man about this, and he didn't take those opportunities.
He thought, just like everybody else, that he was going to get away with it.
Yeah.
It was all going to be
Right.
pushed under the rug. So yeah, I mean, this is like This is like a really weird period of Hollywood history, and maybe one of the few times where a movie the week before release, an expose comes out about the lead actor, director, writer. Did he do all of those things?
He did all of those things.
Yeah, because that's what Louis would do. He would do everything he could.
Yeah, he's usually pretty involved in all of his projects. He is a hardworking person on screen and off screen, apparently.
I just think that if we are going to change the system, if things are going to change, then actors need to be careful about who they agree to work with and who they agree to sign on to do a movie for.
I agree
And
with
so people who continue to work with Woody Allen, for example, which this is an homage to Woody Allen, basically.
Right.
I'm just saying you can't like say like, oh, I'm, you know,
I didn't
so
know.
offended by everything that's happening and blah blah blah, and yet still continue to like.
Well, it's interesting. Like, if
Work
any
with-
of us at this table were approached by Louis C.K. last week before this expose and said, "Hey, I wanted you to do a movie with me," it'd be very hard to say no.
Well, prior to last week, the rumors about him
We're
had
starting
been
to ramp
bubbling
up.
up. So
But I mean,
But
they're
still,
rumor-
though.
maybe 5 years ago, had he, I don't know.
Well, for me, last
Right,
week,
right.
if Louis asked me to go
Yeah.
do a movie with him, I would have never passed up that opportunity. Go ahead.
it's just I mean I guess like I take that like because I was a big fan of Louis. I like his work, and now I feel like I should feel
Bad about it.
well, I should feel bad about it, and like is that an indictment on me for having liked
No, of course
something
not.
that
No,
was
no, no.
associated because I think that's where like and I feel like these people who you can appreciate somebody and not know like until last week none of this was common knowledge.
Sure.
So I feel like that's harsh to say, like, that's really harsh. We need to be careful because, like, this does have the ability to turn into a little bit of a lynch mob and we're doing it, like, but, like, I feel like reaching out and saying, like, people who are simply attached to a project as somebody who, like, that's the biggest consequence of all this stuff is, like, it's all of the people around the person that's
Right.
whose lives have been affected.
Right. It's like
the
when
crew
somebody
members,
dies, everybody else is also
right.
affected by it.
I mean, and that's the, like, if you talk about House of Cards and like, there is a whole hundreds of people that rely on that show to make a living. So if they were just to cancel that show all of a sudden, which they very well might, those people are screwed because of one person's actions.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe that's just what needs to happen, but like,
Yeah.
it's
But,
But,
it
like,
does suck for those people.
it sucks for those people.
People
You
were
shouldn't
able
say-
to make rent because of these jobs, and they're
Yes.
just trying to live in Los Angeles, doing what they love, and they got to be sound editor
Yeah,
on
the
one of
grips.
these shows.
I mean,
Right?
like,
Yeah.
the amount of
They
people.
employ so many people that.
So I mean, to defend Kevin a little bit, because I feel like you need it right now. Just kidding. No, but it wasn't like Jason said. I think like the dividing line here is that it wasn't common knowledge up until this past week. It was knowledge in the like even in the comedy community,
Comedians knew about it.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like we're comedians, quote unquote. We've been doing stand up for a while. Louis has been my favorite stand up for like years. And I didn't know anything until 3 months ago when Tignataro said something.
Right. Well, in a few episodes, actually, when I was covering to be on this show, I mentioned a comedian that kind of she was the Hannibal Buress of this story in relation to the Bill Cosby stuff.
We're not talking about Tig.
Jen Kirkman. Her
Okay.
name's Jen Kirkman, and on her podcast, and maybe on when she was guest on other podcasts, she mentioned something about how she would not take opportunities to open for Louis or go on tour with him because of what she had heard in their community of people who actively worked with Louis and were friends with him.
Right.
So that is kind of what sparked this thing.
Okay.
That it kind of became more common knowledge.
Yeah, it expanded. It went from smaller circles to bigger circles.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like a few weeks ago, Jen Kirkman said, I kind of regret saying
I saw
this
that.
because it wasn't firsthand knowledge. It didn't happen to me. It was me reacting to rumors that I had heard. And so it was kind of, she felt bad in a way that it wasn't based on actual evidence but she said this thing and that kind of sparked. But now, I mean, she's vindicated in that.
But she got
it was
lucky.
an actual, yeah,
Because it could have been
And
just a
how,
rumor.
how
It
could
was-
she not be like, if I had heard that and then I was offered to do like to open up for him, I wouldn't want to either.
She was being cautious
Yeah.
in a
She just-
situation she knew I don't want to get involved with that at all,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to even entertain that idea.
Right.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Anyways, I feel bad
You feel bad?
for Charlie Day and
I mean, this was like a small budget indie thing. This wasn't gonna like necessarily make or break any of their careers. They're already established stars.
Yes.
I don't think that the blame should go to any of these people if they didn't know. You're just doing a movie. I do feel
Right.
bad for the crew. I just think that the reason that men like Harvey Weinstein and so many of the others have continued to be able to work and be protected is because people
Look the other way.
look the other way.
Yep.
And
Sure.
so who's to say that some of these people didn't know?
Yes, but
some
who's
of the
to say that
rumors?
they
did? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but
That's what I'm saying. That's the line we don't want to cross. Is
Right.
starting to make assumptions
about everybody.
about like when a
Yeah.
Washington Post article comes out with cited sources saying like we've done our research and this is the thing, then like
That
know
makes
that's the
sense.
watershed moment to be like, okay, like this isn't just rumors anymore, like that aren't corroborated, that are just whispers around town that you can't say yes or no on.
Right.
And then you're asking people to make choices off of like with information they don't have.
Hearsay. Yeah, like I maybe somebody told their friends like, "Hey, I'm going to be in the new Louis C.K. movie. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited." They're like, "Have you heard about Louis C.?" I'm like, no. What about him? Like, well, apparently he does this to. And like,
You shouldn't have signed that contract.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a rumor or whatever. You know that like, yeah, they don't have. But now it's widely known. There are names to attach to this.
Yeah, I
actual
mean-
people that have come forward. Yeah.
So another example of like something that is like happening, it just happened this past week in the release of Daddy, what's it called? Daddy's Home 2, Mel
Oh,
Gibson,
oh.
right? And we had, this is a recreation of the conversation we had till 4 a.m. But Mel Gibson is in that movie, and it wasn't that long ago that he was dropping N-bombs, that he was harassing his wife or ex-wife,
And anti-Semitic stuff.
anti-Semitic
and-
stuff.
yeah.
I mean, it was just the list went on and on. And I read an article that said, "What the hell? Like, we're just okay with Mel Gibson now?" So I don't know. It was very interesting. So do I say, Will Ferrell, you fucked up. I'm not watching your movies anymore. You know what I mean? Because he's playing opposite him.
I'm saying
Hollywood's
in this
tricky.
case, I think it's good that this movie is not being released.
Sure.
I'm not saying let's never watch another Helen Hunt movie again because she was in this movie this one time. That's
Of
not
course.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But she is named Helen, and we've already
We've
talked
already
about
talked
how
about
we're
it.
not
We already
You're
talked
right.
about
on
that.
board with
There.
people named Helen.
All right,
All
next slide.
Next slide.
Good conversation.
If her name was Ellen Unt, I would have been more on board.
He hates H's.
Only Ellens. I only
If you're Cockney, that's your name.
back Ellens.
Every week we talk a little bit about what we are watching. We're dwindling it down to one or so movies or television shows a week.
We're already in our third hour, I think.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, it's been a lot of big topics in Hollywood for the last
No, we're
3
not.
weeks,
We won't
and
do
it's
that.
interesting because when we first started the show, there was nothing going on.
Yeah, there really was. That's
like
true.
every movie every weekend was awful. It was like end of summer, dwindling out.
Not
It
the
was
big
bad.
hitters. Yeah.
But now it's it's picking back up, and then we got Oscar season coming up, and it's gonna be fun times. So who is watching what this week? Let's go to our first person, who I don't remember who it is.
Oh, it's me.
Or
I continued watching This Is Us, and
You're righteous.
I
The magazine.
I finished. I caught up to where the actual season is, and it's in the middle of season 2 right now.
Okay.
And oh man, the show is so good. And the two black actors are the best actors, gotta say. I don't know their names, otherwise I would say their names. Sterling K. Brown,
yeah.
I think, and then I don't know who plays his dad, but the guy that plays his biological dad is, I mean, they're just such great actors. And
It's very dramatic. It seems more
Yeah.
dramatic than Parenthood.
it's more dramatic than Parenthood.
I've heard a little melodramatic, like maybe it's too much.
Yeah,
dramatic.
sometimes it is, but I think it's kind of in the same vein as Parenthood. It's
Yeah.
that same type of show, and it's a real tearjerker. So
My
if you
guess
wanna
is
cry.
this is like the best of its kind right now, because Parenthood was also.
But then
Parenthood was
it
fantastic.
left, and so there's like a void, and this kind of fills that void.
It does.
Well, yeah, and it's by the same people.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
And I actually didn't really. I mean, it's not that I didn't like Mandy Moore or Milo Ventimiglia. I think that's his name. But I think in this show they really show like their acting skills. Like it comes out.
Last time I saw Mandy Moore was in Scrubs, and she was great.
Yeah, she's. I mean, she is a great serious actress, and I never would have thought that until I watched the show. So, yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got to catch up.
Yeah.
Alias Grace.
That's me.
Oh.
Came out last week, right?
Yeah, just dropped last week, 6 episodes. It's based on a book by Margaret Atwood, you were correct, which is based on a true case of these murders that happened in like mid 1800s in
Wow.
Canada. It's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
6 episodes, right?
6 episodes,
Cool.
45 minutes an episode.
Same person who wrote
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's
Handmaid's
Tale,
Tale is who
which was
wrote
a
the
Hulu
novel.
original.
And Sarah Polly wrote all the episodes
Okay.
for this, and it's very well written. And this actress, I've never seen her before, but she does a phenomenal job. She plays the character from the time she's like a young teen all the way to like late in life. She's an Irish immigrant who comes to Canada with her family and then gets a job as a housekeeper. And it's all framed within. She becomes accused of murdering these people, and
Whoa.
so this doctor comes to interview her and talk about her life and try to get a read on whether or not she may have committed these murders, because they're wanting to pardon her. So it's kind of his word that's going to determine whether or not.
What time period are we talking?
This
1800s,
is yeah,
right?
1800s,
Okay.
just before the American Civil War.
Okay. You love period pieces.
I do love period pieces.
I want
do
to
too.
be more like you.
And we
honestly.
talked last week, and not about how for some reason we keep coming back to like period dramas and like times that are very rough to women.
Yes.
The difference in
Jason,
this
give
one,
him
though.
your glasses.
No, I'm not going to. I'm sorry, you guys.
Hot take, Kevin.
The difference in this one, though, is that it's written by.
No,
and is
we're not
made-
listening until you say you put those glasses on.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I just thought it was funny to forget that.
Yeah.
It's also about period.
I'm listening to you, Kevin. I'm still listening.
So, Jessica,
I'm not
So
laughing
rude.
at you.
He
Go
bought the
ahead.
glasses.
I'm taking you seriously. I'm the only woman in the room, and I'm taking you seriously.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ah.
I know.
Anyway,
That's the way it goes.
this is very much about this character and her journey. And yes, it's a brutal life that she lives, and she suffers a lot of indignities and abuse at the hands of men. But it's never gratuitous. It's always about her character and
Pretty
her
focused.
journey. So I greatly recommend this. It's
I'm
very
excited. How
well-
long are the
Yeah.
episodes?
45 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I want to see.
And,
Only
uh,
6 episodes?
And only 6 episodes.
Nice.
And it's a mini series. It's
Yeah,
not.
and it's like sort of in the style. It was the novel, I guess, is written in the style of like a gothic
Oh.
Oh,
novel.
interesting.
I've never read a gothic novel.
So it has a lot of those elements, like sort of touches on the supernatural a little bit.
Oh.
But it's not
Interesting.
I really like Sarah Pauli. Has she done anything recently? Because there was a movie I saw years ago. It was called My Life Without Me, and it starred her in it. Has anybody?
I haven't.
It's a really good movie, and it was written by her, directed, and starred her.
Oh wow.
But that was the last thing I've seen.
multi-talented.
I
of
want to
hers.
see more of her stuff because I know she did a documentary just a few years ago about her family that was supposed to be really very good.
Yeah.
And I
this looks
look
good.
forward to seeing more from this actress
Yeah.
who's, I think her name's Sarah. Also. No, that was her character's name. Anyway,
Cool.
it's a good show.
I'll watch it.
Cool.
I'll watch it. All right. What's up next?
Jason.
I've been meaning to watch this for a while now, and I finally got around to it.
Those peaches?
Yeah,
It's Georgia.
they're
Atlanta.
Georgia. Georgia
Georgia.
peaches.
Georgia peach.
I won a bunch of Emmys this year for writing. I think Donald Glover won for Best Performance. I want to say FX does really great television. Half of their programming is produced by Louis C.K.
That's
and
true.
Crap.
This is not.
This is not. Paul Sims is one of the producers on this, but it's mostly created by Donald Glover and his brother, and it's awesome. It's just a really great,
I want to watch it.
solid piece of television. Donald Glover. You called Donald Glover what did you call him last week? You said he's like a very
He's like a quintuple threat. He's just
Yeah.
like crazy.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I also
There's
said
nothing he can't do.
Yeah, there's nothing he can't do. But I also said that he's kind of become a bummer.
yeah. I think it's
since
I
and I
think-
think the show even shows that.
well,
I haven't watched it. So
I think you should watch it because I think it's it's interesting because I think I maybe used to feel that because we were introduced to him in Community and he was kind of this off the wall, maybe not off the wall character, but it's a very
Fun, ecstatic.
right show.
but
and,
also he wrote 30. He was a writer on 30 Rock. He was I think UCB sketch and improviser. He
Yeah.
was a bubbly man.
Yeah.
he's obviously a talented and more complex person than that, and I appreciate the depth that he's the depth of his career now. It's
And he's
really
27
solid show.
or something.
How many
stupid.
episodes are you into it?
I watched the whole thing.
Oh, the whole
So it's only one season?
It's one season. Well, I think they're going. The second season is coming up. It's on Hulu now.
Sweet.
That's why I
saw
started
that.
watching it. Because I saw it was on Hulu, and it's just a really solid piece of television.
Did you guys watch the artistic trailer that they made before the season dropped? I don't remember if it was before.
Oh, I
during.
think I did. Yeah.
It was
really
kind
good.
of like music video. It was like a art project kind of. It was really weird. It was a weird trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely his. It's his creation from top to bottom.
Really?
So
Okay, I
that's
didn't know
great.
that.
There's a great Nerdist episode with Donald Glover. This is kind of when he was still on Community, so this is many years.
Was it Bubbly Donald?
He was great. He was talking about his package, his writing package that he submitted to 30 Rock, which included a Simpsons spec.
Oh, cool.
And they went into the whole plot of his idea for the episode and everything. It's a really fun listen. It's an old Nerdist episode
I'd
with
like
Donald
to
Glover.
listen to that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I think next is
thing?
me. No, it's you.
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, I saw on iTunes that they were selling all 8 of the original Friday the 13th movies for $30, and I was like, "Fuck it!" So,
That's not a bad price.
yeah, for 8 movies. And so I
8
started
good movies.
Oh, the best! I've watched the first 2. And because I never really got into these slasher movies, I've seen maybe 2 or 3 Nightmare on Elm Street movies,
Right.
maybe 2 Halloween movies, just over the years. But I never got it. I always kind of wanted to get into these things, and so I watched the first 2, and terrible. I mean, not good. I mean, for what they were at the time, I think it was kind of the first time there was a slasher movie with like hot young people and there's a little nudity and then they get killed and what? Who is it?
Very 80s.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Like the first movie is made in 1980.
Okay.
And then the next movie was like 81. They just like cranked them out like
Damn,
nobody's
this is going to
business.
be good.
Yeah. So I've yet to see a guy in a fucking hockey mask, which I'm kind of bummed about.
What the hell?
So yeah, spoiler alert, but they're over 30 years old. The first movie, the murderer is Jason Voorhees' mother, who blames the death of her son on bad camp counselors who weren't paying attention to her little boy as he drowned in the river. Okay. So she seeks revenge on these new camp counselors who are getting this camp ready for the season. Second, Friday the 13th, you actually get Jason attacking people, and you actually get to see him like walking with his big boots and everything. But when they reveal him, he's wearing like this burlap elephant man mask. It's like covering his face.
Is it more funny than it is scary?
It's kind of goofy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not scary at all. But it's kind of kitschy. I like it for that reason, and it's very of its time.
Can you see why it is like the staple that it is?
In a way, yeah, because it is this like nameless, voiceless, or faceless character that's doing all this murder, and you get to see a lot of his perspective. Freddy, they made a big point of he is a character. Like he is a larger than life.
Yeah, big personality.
Big personality, cult hero sort of thing. And Jason was very different, and so I'm interested to see how it develops over these 8 movies, because I'm getting the most of my $30. I'm going to see every damn one of these. And so that'll also be my next week's what I'm watching, because I don't want to waste my money.
Week.
Yeah.
Was this they're doing a reboot of Friday the 13th?
Halloween.
That's what it
not
was.
Friday.
Oh, they have already. Didn't Rob Zombie? What did Rob Zombie reboot?
It was Halloween, I think.
Okay.
But now I think John Carpenter himself is rebooting.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's John Carpenter and the original actress,
Jamie
and
Curtis.
and it is going to be like after the second or third film. So
true.
it's like a reboot / sequel shoved
She
in.
left the series kind of in the middle, and they kind of brought her back. And I think the fourth or third Halloween movie didn't even involve Michael Myers at all. Anyway.
Wow.
Donald Glover is 34. Oh, okay. I thought he was much older. Says Bond. I thought he was like 27 or something.
Oh.
Maybe that was when he was on Community, and that's been years now.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, I'll give it a watch because I haven't seen him.
Yeah, they're interesting little bits of horror history. Yeah.
Piece of information.
Information.
Kevin was named after the Home Alone movies. I was named after Friday the 13th.
Is that true?
Very cool.
Seriously?
My parents saw them and they were like, "We think our son is a murderous
We're
wretch
calling it.
who's going to
Nice.
kill us."
Calling it. As you were coming out, there was actually just a burlap sack or a mask. And they just held it
You,
on the
held it,
legs.
and then you shot into it.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
We got caught in a burlap sack.
I also drowned at camp once.
Shit. I almost drowned once too.
I hate
Names are
water.
destiny.
Myself, this past week, I watched Men in Black.
Whoa.
Is
Original
that
recipe? First
original
one?
recipe? The first one, it was on Netflix, like trending now, and I was like, about to go to sleep, and I was like, you know what? I need to go to sleep with some Men in Black. And
I always say that.
and I haven't seen this since I was a kid, since I was like 14 or something.
Yeah.
So it's been over 10 years. It is still fun. It's as fun as I remembered it. I was also like I loved everything Will Smith when I was younger. I watched Wild Wild West and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and this and whatever. Bad Boys. I was a huge Bad Boys fan. So I loved it. Will Smith was the Donald Glover of his time. He also did every
I
song
think
and
Donald Glover's
sound.
a little better than Will Smith.
Let's give Donald Glover a little more.
Will Smith is like, I'm only going to do big budget.
He didn't
like,
do any serious movies.
He didn't
really.
write, direct,
old.
Until
produce
Pursuit of
anything
Happiness.
himself.
Really,
came
you
out.
it's just because he's black.
It's just because he's black. Men in Black. Donald. They're all Men in Black.
similarity.
They're all Men in Black.
You know what? No.
No, fuck it. No, he was. Well, he has directed a film.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I like Will
It
Smith.
was awful, but he has
Will Smith
directed one.
directed?
It was that one with his kid, or did he just produce it?
Oh, After Earth.
After Earth.
No, that was M. Night Shyamalan who directed it, but he
wrote it.
I don't think he wrote it, but he produced it.
He was like, "Hey, M. Night, make
it was
this
a
movie."
passion, not a passion, like a
Pandering for his
vanity
his
project.
Vanity
Oh,
project,
okay.
yes.
Mhm.
And whatever. You know what?
Just
Fuck
like
you.
Donald
He was the Donald Glover of his time. He also like
He's
wrote.
got the glasses in
he
hand,
wrote-
so I mean, he's got his.
He wrote all the goddamn music for all the films. He's got.
Not true. You
He just said
He,
fact check.
Wait. Wicka Wow Wild West. What else did he do? What did he do?
Fact
Here
checks.
comes the man in black. Come
Yeah,
on.
he
what
wrote
else
that
did he do?
song. He wrote one song. He didn't write all the music.
Wicka Wild West.
Guys,
Fresh
wrote
Prince
two
of
songs.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air theme song. Fresh Prince of Bel Air
He
theme
is the
song.
Fresh Prince, guys.
Come on.
Come on, summertime.
He wrote one, two, three.
Summertime, guys.
The
That's
list
like
goes
a
on.
great song.
Fucking, I am defending Will Smith here. This is hot Dylan coming at you. Fucking watch Men in Black.
I'm not
No,
saying
you
anything
hate.
bad. I'm just
you
saying
all
he
hate.
didn't
You know,
write
what?
all the
I'm going to
music.
defend you a little bit here in that there are some similarities between him and Donald Glover in that they are actors who also have music careers.
Yes.
They Donald Glover's doing more big budget stuff now. He's going to be in
I
the
love
next
how
Star
small
Wars.
the glasses are.
There weren't a lot of like triple threats. You know what I mean? And Will Smith was one of the triple threats of my time growing up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He did a lot of stuff.
It was a very successful transition
started
from
in
music
TV
into
and then
acting,
yeah.
into movies, into blockbuster
all right.
movie.
Yes.
It was a very successful story for him. Now, I mean, Donald Glover's like,
Coming to Miami. That is a fucking hot summer movie song. Sorry, hot summer song.
I just think like Donald Glover's a
to
little bit more
Miami.
serious in his ambitions.
Fuck Donald Glover. Be happier. This movie.
cheer up,
Wow.
you're doing great.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
This movie though, it was fun. I was actually really surprised by like the CGI. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It held up. I don't know when it came out. Probably early 2000s is my guess. There's a Men in Black 2 and there's a Men in Black 3. Half this movie, I was surprised. Half the movie is Will Smith like figuring out what Men in Black is and then finally being inducted. And then the last half is him as a Man in Black.
97.
97. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just had a good time. I don't remember what's
It's
his
a fun
name.
movie.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Yes, he was great in it. Fun, like kind of everything comes back around on itself. Whoever, Kingpin was in it. Law and Order.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio, and he looks
yeah.
very different.
Mhm.
He was fun in it. Yeah, good film.
great
good
movie,
film.
yeah.
Watch it. I love Will Smith. Next we have last week's required viewing, and that was The Money Pit.
That's
Take
right.
it away, Scott.
Yeah, this is 1986 Tom Hanks, Shelley Long comedy that I grew up really loving, and I just thought it'd be an interesting thing if any of you hadn't seen it or had
I'd never
seen
seen
it.
it.
Never seen
Yeah, what you thought, because I rewatched it last night. And there were some things about it I forgot, like the whole maestro thing. I mainly just focus on all the bad shit in the house falling apart
Yeah.
and how funny that was.
They found the game,
Yes.
and it just
It heightened. Yeah.
Heightened, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great example of that. I also like the heightening of the vehicles that drive them home because their car doesn't work. So it's
Oh,
like
right.
she gets picked up like a semi, and then like the pizza car with the lights going on and the pizza song in the back.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh, you guys doing demolition here? You lighting off bombs or whatever?" So it's just a fun. Produced by Steven Spielberg. I
Yeah,
totally
I saw
forgot about
that,
that. Was
yeah.
the first name you see. It's like Steven Spielberg. Like, holy shit.
yeah. Did you watch it? Did you all watch it?
Yeah.
I did watch it.
You did watch it, yeah.
What'd you guys think?
It was fun. I'm trying to remember it now. Young Tom Hanks. Very exciting to see.
Okay, you're
it was
great.
a
And
what
little
did you-
bit- sorry.
Dylan, give him the
Maybe I'll-
glasses.
good
That's the hot take here.
It was fun. It was
Yeah. It's not a big thinker. It's
a little
just
conservative for my tastes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that scene with the guy almost raping his wife, and then
Oh, yeah, John Montaigne.
Montaigne.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
Tom Hanks
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I really need my plumbing.
Yeah,
done."
that doesn't hold up.
We're
That
all
yeah,
like kind of sitting
There's
there.
like the scene where like the maestro's like, she's like, "What happened last night? I remember dinner."
And he's
And
like,
he's
we
like-
had sex.
Yeah, like you don't remember anything, and we slept together.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, really?
we've come a long way since.
And then how
Also, like the '80s version of poor, when they're like, we don't have a cent to us, only like all of the things that we
somehow.
owned, and then we got $200,000 worth of like things to buy this house
Yeah.
with. But we're poor. Like all of our friends can afford houses, but we
Yeah.
can't.
yeah.
Yeah.
I dipped out halfway through
Yeah.
very purposefully. I sorry. I hated this movie. I did not have a good time. I
was bored.
I
have to say
never
was
laughed.
bored.
I
did laugh,
I
though.
thought everything was kind of overacted, but you could see that this is why one of the reasons that Tom Hanks was like picked up, because I read the Wikipedia and like this movie helped lift his career.
Like 2 years later was big and stuff.
Right.
So yeah,
You could see it because he is
part
like
of that ascension.
he's just a force to be reckoned with as an actor. I did not find it funny. I thought it was like extremely goofy. I checked Rotten Tomatoes; it's like 49 or something. 47. So I just want to know that I wasn't the only one, because I was like, "Is this a great movie? What am I missing here?" Fact Chess says no. Says Bon about Will Smith. I don't know. Whatever. So, but then like for like the last half, I like every once in a while peeked in the living room and it was still going on, and they saw the extra car, and I was like, oh, I see what they're doing there. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I had problems with all of those, but I was like, yeah, that's of its time. I guess I get it. It felt like in comedy has evolved a ton. Obviously, especially in film, in that we don't do slapstick as much as we used to, and this is a
Right.
slapstick movie.
Yeah.
That is the
very
entirety.
broad.
of it.
Yeah,
I
very broad,
actually
sure.
like slapstick and actually enjoyed that part of it. But I do have to say I got a little bored.
Yeah, I was like,
They're
this
like-
is like, if you're a really big fan of the Three Stooges, you'll probably really like this movie.
It's almost like a silent film. Like it's almost like a Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, a lot of
Like,
physical and
Like whole bits, like
Right.
10-minute long bits of like stuff, like the part where he's what is it? He's going to get the water or something, and it takes it's like 15 minutes of him like going to get this bucket of water, and it's all like these very intricate like things.
Yeah, they move the board over so
Right.
he can't go across it again.
or
It's
how
like
long
all
he's
like-
stuck in the carpet in the hole in the ground. It was
Right, the
like it
hole,
felt like
yeah.
30
It was big,
minutes.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm so
Yeah.
I can't watch this anymore.
There's some interesting like filmic elements. Like there's like the one scene where they're going to bed and it's just the lightning that like, lights
yeah.
up the room every
Yeah.
once in a
Yeah.
while.
and all of a sudden it's flooding.
That's
and
fun.
then I thought that
But
there was some
like,
interesting.
oh, it's gonna flood.
Yeah, I mean, like you kind of get what the movie's doing and how you're just gonna watch this house fall apart. Like,
But I think this is around the time
Extremely.
though that like comedy changed, maybe for the better, from the slapstick to kind of this like, I don't know, modern understanding of whatever we think comedy
I think
is.
it's interesting. Like, can comedy? How long? Because it feels like there's just a half-life to comedy, and it will always decay.
Well, and there's been movies like Tommy Boy and Billy Madison that were made after this that
Yeah.
are more broad, and there's always the more thinker,
Sure.
comedic things
Yeah,
that
yeah,
have become more prominent, certainly
Sure.
as comedy writing specifically has become more sophisticated.
Yes.
But yeah, this was 80s movie of its time with two kind of bubbling. I mean, Shelley Long also had True Beverly Hills.
She was in Cheers.
So they were like, we need to have movies with her in them because she's big on Cheers and stuff. And Tom Hanks was this up and coming actor, and so this was like another step for him and everything. And
I love young Tom Hanks. I mean, I still love Tom Hanks, but young Tom Hanks, I just love him. I think he's so charming and
I
adorable.
love wrinkly Tom Hanks.
all ages, Tom Hanks. Yeah.
He's just a little bit too much for me when he's younger. There's an episode where he's on Happy Days when
Oh,
he was
really?
really
Wow.
young, and he's like, you think he's like broad here? Like, go find the episode of him on Happy Days, and you can see he's gotten much subtler as he's aged.
Sure.
Okay. Well, yeah, and then he did a whole film where he's stuck on an island and barely talks. Yeah.
Yeah.
He talks so much. I mean, he's reading the script, but
I mean,
like,
I love
so
like,
much dialogue.
Sleepless in Seattle and
yeah,
like
yeah.
That Thing You Do, which I'm probably gonna make you guys watch as a required.
Oh, it's a
viewing
great
at some
one.
point.
Yeah.
You're a big '90s Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we grew up with. So yeah,
Cool.
fun.
Really?
Not for me.
Oh shit.
All I'm gonna say about the Money Pit is I'm happy I didn't put my money
into
into
that pit.
watching this film.
Next week on required viewing.
Hot take.
Jason, it was Jason's week to choose, and Jason, last second, kind of decided to switch it up on us. So, what are we watching for this upcoming week?
I'm not doing a hot take. This is only if you can make it.
You mentioned this.
We talked about this a little bit last week. So this Tuesday and Wednesday at the local guild cinema, they are doing the animation show of shows, which is a really fun collection of short animated shorts. And it's like 16 of them, and it's like an hour and a half. There's 3 different showings. I'm going to try to go on Wednesday. If you can make it, if we want to go and like watch it, I think it'll be a fun thing. If you can't, I will say, if you can't go to this, watch The World of Tomorrow on Netflix. It's a short 60-minute animated short. It was nominated. I think it might have even won the best animated short at the Oscars, either last year or the year before. Yeah.
Cool.
What's the math on that? 5 minutes a piece, something like that. Does that make sense?
Some of them are really short. Some of them are longer.
5 times 15 would be 45, so it's twice that. 10 minutes a piece.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds
It's
a lot
like
of fun.
good
I
choice.
always
I'm
have a
excited.
great time whenever I go to these things. They're always
the
memorable
Guild.
experiences. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'd love
went
go
to
that.
one back in the day at the old Lobo Theater before it was a church. It was a
Nice.
theater, yeah. And yeah, it was an animation festival, and that's kind of where you can see the little shorts that will be later nominated for Oscars. Like every time I see the Oscars, like, oh, I want to see those animated shorts, but where can
Yeah.
I see them ever? Yeah.
And then later on in the year, or at early next year, they will do like the Oscars do a tour of the animated shorts plus like some extra ones.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, most of them
know
are.
that.
Yeah, I usually go to both. I don't know. It's just something I've done the last few years. And
I'd love to start doing that. That sounds
That
like
sounds
fun.
fun.
Now, is this done nationally, internationally, locally?
No, it's a thing that they travel around to theaters or they put out
I see. I see.
to
Okay, this is
usually independent movie theaters
Okay.
mostly.
Okay. Very cool. Solar Starlers. Has anyone seen the anime Kimi no Nawa?
Yes, it is excellent.
Yeah, it is one of my favorite movies of 2016.
One of my favorite anime movies.
It is the highest grossing anime film of all
Amazing.
time, beating out like 5 Studio Ghibli films.
And I can't believe that I like it more than Studio Ghibli, but I really do.
It's
So,
very well done.
Kimi no
It's
wa.
a kind of it means
Your Name.
your name in Japanese. It's based off of a book, I believe. It's kind of like a teen drama body swap story, but
Very
done
cool.
very well and originally. So yes, we have seen
It
that.
was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but I would recommend it.
Cool. I'm excited to watch this, and we'll talk about it next week. Solar Starlord, watch this.
Cool.
We'll talk about it next week with you. Yeah? If you can watch it, I don't know. All right, so what's going on now? I think we have our games or question of the week, actually.
Question of the
So
week.
the question of the week comes from Mr. Bond. I like the Red Turtle, but I have to see Kimi no Nawa. I have not seen the Red Turtle. I've heard
Neither
about
have
it,
I, but that's
watch
cool. I'll have to watch it.
Question of the week.
Yes. Question of the week. So unmute the real tech and then turn on the microphone for the speaker out here and then give me your face. Oh, there's your face.
Hi, Bond.
Wow,
Bond.
look at this.
Hello, hello. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good.
Good.
I spaced out for a second there.
We've missed your velvety, deep voice.
Yeah,
The dulcet
I
tones.
don't get it very often to be on mic anymore.
So producer,
Oh.
Mr. Producer, what's our question of the week?
If you could have a soundtrack from any film to be your life, what would it be?
Oh my God.
To like accompany you throughout your life.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's
Cloud
great.
Atlas.
Yeah?
Yes.
I haven't watched it.
What'd you say?
Cloud Atlas.
Oh, his was right away.
Oh yeah, that's
Love
beautiful.
that sound.
Shoot.
I think the Curb Your Enthusiasm soundtrack just makes anything in your life just seem like fun and unimportant.
That's a good one.
I agree. It's good.
That would get very old, I think.
It's just like, I don't know, like something terrible happens to you, and that's just song. Boom, boom, boom.
I constantly have the South
Brilliant.
Park intro song stuck in my head, so I am a ravenous beast. No, I don't really have that. It's like, no, that's not true. I'm gonna say, I last night was like really falling in love with Stranger Things. Again, like I can't stop watching videos of these kids who I've realized recently, guys, it's a big
Conspiracy?
Hold on.
it's a big these kids, they are proof that we do not need.
So small.
They are proof that we do not need Disney stars anymore, because Stranger Things is making the Disney stars of today and tomorrow.
I agree with you on that.
Are
Did
they
we
making
ever-
kids?
I never necessarily
You
thought
disagreed
we
with that.
need- We needed
Disney
Disney stars to
kids.
begin with. Who are Disney stars?
Like
Oh, like
Britney
every
Spears
actor.
and
Britney Spears,
I
well,
Miley
don't need
Cyrus,
her.
Justin
Yeah.
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Don't
Like,
need
yeah,
them.
is
yeah,
there
I
anything
could
else
do
to
without
listen
all of those people.
I agree, but I'm not saying we need him.
I like the Stranger
Steve
Kids.
So we're
Buscemi a
getting off
Disney
the topic
star?
Here. So you would say Stranger Things soundtrack. That's the
I think
answer to
so.
your question.
Yeah, and it's a band from like the South, and it's like a I think
Like
it's
a
like
duo
a duo
electronic band.
electronic
yeah,
band.
Oh,
Very cool.
I
Very
just
good.
heard. Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Kev?
He already said it.
Cloud Atlas.
Cloud
Atlas.
Atlas. And then Scott, what did you say?
I didn't. Back to the Future, because
Cool.
sure.
Yeah.
It's a good
For
one.
me, it'd be 10 Things I Hate About You, because I think the soundtrack to that movie is excellent. And a lot of girl bands like Letters to Cleo and Save Ferris. So, yeah.
Buffy. Oh, Scrubs has a great soundtrack, but it's not a film. It's a television show. Breakfast Club. I just want to walk out of every room like that.
Maybe like a Pee-wee's Big Adventure, like that. just
Danny
that
Elfman sort of.
Danny Elfman.
I like
just,
Wedding Singer, too. I think I'd go with some like cool 80s music.
I just want to hear John Lovitz in my head all day. Do you have one, Bon? If not, we can move on to our game.
Almost Famous.
Oh, that's a good
I've
one.
never listened to that soundtrack. I've never seen the
Tiny
movie.
Dancer,
Yeah, good movie.
Amazing.
which Dylan thought was Tony Danza, probably.
It's Hold Me Close to Tony Danza.
Tony Danza.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Good question. Thank you. Thank you. Last comedy standing.
Ooh.
I almost said comic. The intro from Grease says Solar Star
Or he
Lord.
said Lord of the Rings music. It's pretty epic.
Yeah, super
You
epic.
would have a
yeah,
pretty
that's a
epic
good
life.
And yeah, intro from Greece is also pretty epic. So I definitely say, yeah, that's the epic life.
So this is a game we play every week. It's last something standing. We've been doing actors. The last couple of weeks we did directors, franchise, and I was like, yeah, let's find some comedies. A lot of these are the top from the top 101 list from the Writers Guild of America, which they update every year.
Certainly of their era too. Like they're the top of their
Yes.
time.
And so, with some like kind of newish stuff, Arrested Development, for instance. But anyways, these are the shows that I chose. I don't know if it's the best list or the worst list, but it's definitely like
It is a list.
it is a list. And so the idea is that there will be one movie or one TV show standing left standing. Bon, if you're interested, would you like to pick the first comedy show to get rid of on this list?
I think that now that we have 5 people,
Oh shit,
it's
we
kinda
don't
perfect.
We don't need you anymore. Get out of my life.
We do need
Great.
you
Okay,
to
so we have
produce.
5. So who's chosen? I've never chosen last. I don't think
I've chosen last.
Did
I
I
was
choose last?
second.
you
to
both
last.
have chosen last.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I was second to last week, I think.
Okay, so I'll go next week last, but I'll let you. You want to be the final?
Sure.
You'll be the final. Oh, let's just go down this way.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to get rid of Cheers because I watched the pilot episode yesterday and I was not impressed. Bored out of my mind.
I've never seen it.
That's harsh, I know. But still.
I've seen some of it and I like it, but yeah, I have the least
Connection.
connection to that one.
Sure.
Agreed.
Okay, so no Cheers on this list.
Okay. I never really watched The Daily Show
Oh,
with
Oof.
Jon Stewart.
Rough.
Well, it's on
Like-
every day.
Yeah, no, I'm
That's
not
like a-
saying I had a good
It's
reason. not to have seen
important.
it.
It's like the most, definitely the most like probably like politically at least
yeah.
important for like at least when I was in college. It was like that's
You gotta watch the Daily Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like a sitcom, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of the
only-
odd man out in this one. I feel.
It's a
agree.
Yeah, and I
sitcom.
thought about that, and I was actually gonna put in animated stuff too, and I was like, you know what, I'll do a whole last animated standing.
I like that
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, because I was gonna put like Rick and Morty or whatever, or Simpsons.
So
God damn it, the Daily
not
Show is
to take away from the importance of the Daily Show. I'm just saying in this particular list, I feel
doesn't
like
really
it's
fit.
Sure.
it is one of like the most important shows to me personally. That and then it actually turned into the Colbert Report, which I liked more. But I hate you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. What am I getting rid of? I'm getting rid of Seinfeld. That's an easy choice for me. I'm not.
Hurts me in my heart.
I don't love Seinfeld. I don't hate Seinfeld. I just like it never caught me like the other sitcoms around that time. Friends, Everybody Loves Raymond,
Scrubs.
Scrubs
later,
but yeah, it didn't hit me like it hit everybody else. So
It's just
it's just 3 good shows left.
it's
Yeah, it's true.
as somebody who grew up in the Seinfeld Friends era and always hated Friends.
Ooh,
the
we're
fact that
opposite.
you yeah.
That's why you took Friends off of the mantle here. 'Cause
Ugh.
I had Friends.
Yeah.
It was right in front of him.
Get out of here, Friends.
He's making him
already.
sick.
Jeez. Friends. God, get
This is my
out of
s-
here
I'm
for my
so
whole life.
Talk about
upset.
Friends.
It's
Get
one of my
out
favorite
of
shows
here.
of all time.
Yeah,
It's
mine
okay.
too.
Get out.
It's okay.
It's fun.
My whole life.
It's okay. I
I'm
understand.
fighting the show.
Okay, so the last 2, Scott. Who
I don't hate it that
is
much.
the last
It's
comedy standing? Arrested Development or The Office? It's a hard one, man.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I think Arrested Development, the original 3 seasons, whenever they were on Fox,
Solid.
pretty unbeatable. Like
It's
really,
very difficult.
really well thought out and segmented, and how like on Netflix. And I think maybe The Office is a more consistent. How long did the American Office go for?
10?
9, I think.
9 season. Good run. Maybe it faltered a little bit in the
With the Will Ferrell
did.
era.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But even then, it was still pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think consistently and down the road, I would say maybe The Office is the stronger one. So
Okay.
I will get rid of
Arrested.
Arrested Development.
Yeah, that's a
okay.
hard choice,
That's a
man.
hard
I'm okay
choice.
with that. I love The Office.
Yeah.
Office
Yeah.
is so
I do.
like I could turn to any episode and know I'm gonna have a good time.
Yep.
Yeah, even the little intro things, like the cold opens.
cold opens, yeah.
those are
Yeah.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Like sketches, basically.
Yeah.
I love the idea of being able to do a sketch.
The
in a
episode
sitcom.
where they have the fire drill and like
Throws
oh
the
my
cat.
God, that is one of the best. It's
Is
so
she your favorite
good.
character? She's got to be.
Do I come up? Am I the Angela?
You're the Angela.
I get it. That's fine.
Except not conservative.
And probably
She's crazy
one of the
conservative.
best, like, supporting casts.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
background
so- the
characters are
ensemble?
so strong.
Honestly, the background character is my favorite. Dwight's my favorite character of the
He's not a
series.
background.
Well, he's more foreground, but like
Okay.
yeah,
Phyllis.
Oh,
Phyllis,
sure.
yeah.
Stanley.
Stanley.
Remember when they had to
Kelly.
replace all of them and they just got like a really hot looking Stanley, like this like young black man.
Oh, and the old guy, the
Creed.
He is
so brilliant.
good.
You're the Creed. You're the Angela. Who's who?
He's so brilliant.
Who's who?
I
You're
think
Michael
I'm
Scott, definitely.
Dwight.
Yeah, you're Michael.
You're Dwight.
Am I
No.
Michael Scott?
No, I
No.
think
No,
you're
no,
Dwight.
Dylan's
I
Michael
thought you
Scott.
were-
yeah.
No,
Dylan's
Dwight's my
Michael
favorite
Scott.
character, but I guess I'm
I
okay
thought you were
with.
Jim.
Oh come on, I'm not you're Jim.
yeah, Jason, you're Jim.
Well, then, are you Pam?
No, I'm
you-
Creed. I'm the weird
Creed,
psycho
Jim.
killer in the back.
Creed, Jim,
No, you guys gotta
Michael,
be Jim and
Angela.
Do we?
No.
No.
You
I
guys
don't really
are-
think
Well,
we're
yeah,
together.
You guys are in love.
Actually,
yeah.
no.
Because we met at work.
Yeah. See?
No, actually-
exactly.
I'm.
I'm just typing.
That still
I
makes
was
it.
dating another guy before him, and I used to tell
Yep.
him about it all the time and complain.
He was
so
in the
what hell?
storeroom and
Yeah,
he didn't
Jim and
appreciate
Jim.
you.
Hold on,
and-
because I think Michael's always had a crush on Pam, even though he was her like kind of mentor and
He did
father
try to kiss
figure.
her, like,
He
more
tried
than
to kiss
once.
her a lot, so I could still be Michael in this.
Okay,
Jim's
fine.
just too subdued for me. You're more of a Jim than I am.
Yeah, it's
No,
true.
I'm Angela. We already established.
You are Angela, yeah.
Mm.
Although Kevin,
You have lots of.
I don't know,
You
guys.
have lots
I
of
think I'm
cat-
Phyllis,
cat
to be
posters.
honest. I mean, I think if I really had to choose, I'd be Phyllis for sure.
Phyllis?
Because I'm like
oh
a
god,
sex maniac who likes to eat food.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's what I'm talking. Like, so good. Like little
wanna be
hints about
Stanley in life.
their lives outside of the office. They're like
Stanley.
deviant and weird, and yeah.
Up your butt.
I just want the pretzels. That's all I want in life, really. It's just
Solar
I don't care.
Starlord says my favorite comedy of that time is that '70s show. My best friend Emilio too. That's also his favorite comedy. Leo from that '70s show shared a what jail cell with Jordan Belfort
Belfort.
from Wolf of Wall Street.
Huh.
That's weird. What would you choose if you had to choose Solar Starlord from these? Like, what would be the last comedy? So, what would be your favorite show then of like individually?
probably The Daily Show was the most.
Yeah.
That was probably had the most effect on me. But as far as the sitcoms goes, definitely Seinfeld.
Scott?
I'd actually, I mean, it would be down between like The Office and Arrested Development for me. Again, the Fox years, yes. Arrested Development, the early years, definitely.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Sometimes it's like it's not the kind of show too where Arrested Development where you can just turn any episode.
No,
Yeah.
but there were so many payoffs
So
for
many.
watching the
Yeah.
show.
It's
was
just the best.
really well done.
It's hard for me between The Office and Friends. I'm gonna probably say Friends.
I'm gonna say Friends too because I love Friends.
The Office for me.
The Office and The Office for Solar.
All right.
Nice.
Cool. I mean, I think it's kind of odd that we almost all agree like The Office is
The Office is
the
great.
strong one.
It
Except
did
for
get
you.
pretty bad.
I mean, I like The Office.
You hate The Office.
I like it. I would probably put it third on my list.
No.
Very cool, very cool. All right, and our last segment of the day, trailers. We're going to watch a handful. I think we've got 7. The idea here is that we watch them. We either we decide whether we're going to watch it, rent it, or skip that movie. And Jason always has his own set of rules here.
Watch, wait, skip.
Watch, rate, skip. Same thing. I don't know why he has to argue with me every
Nobody
week.
rents movies anymore.
It's true.
Redbox.
I mean, you can on Amazon. You can like.
I mean, I do get free
I rented one
Redbox
the other
things
day,
all
actually,
the
on
time, and
Amazon.
I never use them. So.
Get with the program.
Yeah. We rented Jim Cotta the other day.
But you have to wait
Oh,
for
that's
it.
how we saw. I was wondering about that. Yeah.
It was not worth.
I'm
the
just saying
money.
you can wait to rent.
It was
You have to
not-
wait to
It
rent.
did not pay
It's a
off.
more universal
Either
term.
way, yeah. Well, okay.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, so our first trailer day, Dark. Official trailer.
Interesting.
Gestern, heute Morgen folgen nicht aufeinander. Sie sind in einem ewigen Kreis miteinander verbunden.
Schon vor Wochen ist in der Kleinstadt Winden ein 15-jähriger Junge auf mysteriöse Weise verschwunden. Und nun alarmiert ein weiterer Vermisstenfall die Bürger der Stadt.
Keine Spur, nichts. Als hätte er sich in Luft aufgelöst.
Alles ist genauso wie vor 33 Jahren. Alles wiederholt sich.
Just remind you a little bit of Channel Zero.
Diese Stadt ist krank. Und wir alle sind ein Teil davon. Unter uns ist ein Mörder.
Das Danger.
Nicht nur die Vergangenheit beeinflusst die Zukunft, sondern auch die Zukunft die Vergangenheit.
It's pretty.
Tick, tack, tick, tack. Tick, tack, tick, tack. Anfang ist das Ende. Und das Ende ist der Anfang.
Do you guys think that's a time travel machine?
I don't know. But that's like an
Like
interesting
a
theory.
crude time travel thing.
Yeah, like an Assassin's Creed. If
Yeah.
anybody's seen that?
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Does it say series?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
That
All
looks really cool.
episodes in
I'm
December.
totally down to watch that for sure.
Yeah, I'll watch.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
It looks like Channel Zero.
I'm gonna wait.
It looks a lot like Channel
I
Zero.
want to see.
So you're gonna rent it?
Wait. You're gonna wait.
I'm gonna wait.
Queue it. You're gonna put it in the queue.
God
I want to see
damn
what
it.
the critical take
Acclaim.
is.
It looks interesting.
It looks like a little bit Stranger Things, like
If you
without
we had
the sci-fi elements, perhaps. But
we had
maybe there
Channel
are some.
0 as a required viewing one week, and it has a lot of the same. There's the
Elements.
tunnel, the kind of the same tone. There's a lot of the like forest scenes look similar.
Has anyone seen Broadchurch?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing actually
Yeah.
when I was watching that.
I've heard good things.
It's really good. First season, second season.
Stranger Things ripoff, he said. Said Starlord. Just kidding. Kids just look like that.
They
There were a
do.
couple like it looks
the
like
girl
a
with
kid.
the redhead kind of looks like exactly like the girl from
Max,
Stranger
yeah.
Things season 2. But yeah, I could see why you're.
So what would you do, Solar? Would you rent, skip, watch? I don't remember our things again. Watch, rent, skip. I think we all pretty unanimously agree to watch this.
Yeah, if not immediately, eventually.
So you'll wait.
No, I think I'll see it. Yeah, I'm
I don't think anybody
say
knows
you're
the
gonna
rules
wait.
on this.
Are you gonna watch it immediately, or are you going to wait a few weeks and then are you?
depends on what I'm watching at the time. If I got to make room for
Jesus,
it,
make a choice, everybody.
I'm a watch.
I'm gonna watch.
I'll watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait.
While I was watching this,
just want you to
all I had
use
in
my
my
one.
head was like,
My wording.
Pressure me on this side of the table. I
Come
mean,
on, you're over here by me now.
I gotta wait.
welcome.
Solar Starlord says skip. Harsh.
Skip for him or her. Don't know. While I was watching that trailer, though, I was thinking to myself, like, God, we've really come such a long way, like in television. That looks like a pretty well done movie.
yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that we're like,
Yeah, it's just like everything's so beautiful. I can't believe
Yeah.
like how much goes into production for television
I
now.
know.
It's great.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Game of Thrones. Howard's End trailer, BBC One, recommended by Kevin.
Come down with me now to Howard's End. I want you to see it.
Another goddamn period piece. Turn it off.
Oh, you girls have always been so independent. Isn't that generally reckoned to be a good thing, Aunt Julie?
Is that the point?
Might never to marry to. Oh, gosh, no.
You could. You don't want anyone.
Don't I?
There's no equality among men. How can there be equality between men and women?
You do have a nice way of taking the poetry out of everything, Mr. Wilcox. Your life has been heroic.
From whom do you pretend to hide this dreadful secret?
Howard's End on BBC One.
Howard's End
That
was
looks
also
good.
a movie, right?
it's a book by Ian Forster. It was made into a movie in the 90s with Emma Thompson,
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins, Helena Bonham Carter.
That sounds really good.
It's really good. Vanessa Redgrave, I
It's a
believe.
famous,
shit.
yeah.
It's a great movie. I really love Ian Forster and the various adaptations of his work. This version is written by Kenneth Lonergan, who did Manchester by the Sea last year, which
Wow.
won. I don't know what exactly it won at the Oscars.
It's really nominated for a lot.
Did it win Best Script?
I think it won Best Original Script and Best Actor for
Interesting.
For
what's his name?
The Harassment dude.
Yes,
Affleck's
but anyway,
brother.
You're gonna
he's
have to
a
be
great
more
writer.
specific.
Which
Harassment,
which
dude.
harassing
The
Affleck.
guy who harassed
That feels like the world's worst, like
DC's really
superhero.
scrapping for
harassment dude.
Oh, speaking of, DC's lead like creative officer or something, he was also just kicked off of DC for the comic books. But they just got rid of him for sexual harassment stuff.
Jesus.
Doesn't end, but this looks
Doesn't end.
good. I would like
Howard
to.
ends.
I will.
Howard's End.
That music was poor choice for a trailer.
I
you
don't really
agree?
like when they use
Yeah, I
like
wasn't crazy about the
poppy modern music in like
Yeah.
a period piece
It
trailer.
felt really
it
out of
bothers
place.
me a bit, but I will say that this looks good, and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. See what the reviews are.
Wasn't a great trailer, but I really like all the people involved with this, and this is just right up my.
It reminds me a
alley,
little
so.
of Downton Abbey, like the drama aspects of it, yeah, which I really liked. So
Scott and I gasped at the multiculturalism of it.
Yes.
Yes, that is
Also
not of this
looked like
time.
he
And I
was
also
like
got
a
excited when I saw
young-
Tracy Ullman. So I was like, that might be cool.
Yes. Yeah, that'll be fun. Interesting to see like how.
Are you gonna watch? Wait.
Yes,
I got you to use my language.
Yes. It happened. It happened.
I'll wait. All right, next trailer.
Wait, what did you...
I'll wait. I'll wait to see it.
I typically that's not my shtick.
Cup of
Is
tea.
just like
Yeah, I agree.
I've just never got, not that I wouldn't like them, but I've just never gotten into like that style. But I did like Kenneth. I thought Manchester by the Sea was very well written.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna wait.
Skip again from Solar Starward. I'm kind of leaning towards the skip also. Game Night teaser trailer.
Skip
NBC
already.
show.
Skip
Tonight,
already.
we're taking game night up a notch.
Yes, Kyle Chandler.
It's a good
Someone
cast
in
already.
this room is going to be taken, and it's going to be up to you to find them.
It's a murder mystery party.
It's a good
Whoever
cast.
finds the victim wins the grand prize. You're not going to know what's real and what's fake. Wait a sec, you can't just come in here and break the door.
Looks so real.
Murder, you asshole! Help me, please! This isn't... Guys, make sure you get a piece of this cheese. It's just... Okay, roger that. You drive safe.
I've always enjoyed the camaraderie of good friends competing in games of chance and skill. It seems like it.
Ryan, you go first.
I'm scared.
Move.
Bloody hell!
It's not a joke. You people are in real danger.
Is this gun real?
Oh, no, Annie.
Blood!
I hate game night!
So we'll take a little bath.
Oh, it's so much worse. Stop!
Wait, I have kids at home.
Not with an ass like that, you don't.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes! Oh no, he died! This is instructions on how to remove a bullet. Didn't have rubbing alcohol, so I got you this lovely shard.
Good idea. Way to pivot.
And then a squeaky toy.
For the pain.
That's smart, huh?
Most of those jokes hit.
It looks pretty funny.
Yeah. Except for this. Except for the plain one.
Yeah.
I don't know. That looks like fun to
Yeah,
me,
it-
honestly.
Ramped up pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the premise. It's fun. That's how I want my game nights to go, and it never goes that way.
Yeah, that's how I was going to say.
The guy
that.
at the door was the dude from Black Mass. I've never watched Black Mass.
I don't know.
I'm thinking Black Sails. I don't know what Black Mass is.
Was
Is that
Johnny
sci-fi
Depp
show?
Johnny Depp, he was that
Monster guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I didn't see that.
There was a lot of famous people in that. That was a
I
good
always
cast.
get like
Yeah.
a little like dubious when there's that many.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
Like
like,
it'd be too much.
initially, I was like, really, I was buying in, but then as the trailer went on, I was like,
Would you guys have
maybe
preferred if
it's
it was
trying
like
hard.
just in the living room or like
Yeah,
it
it just
didn't
felt
expand
like
so much?
Yeah, it felt like it was too much. Threw
It
too
gave
much
a
at
lot
me.
of weight.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely
wait, too.
Wait on that.
Wait.
Yeah, Rent.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oof.
Dylan.
Hostels trailer 1, 2017. Movie clips trailer. YouTube Red. Ultimate.
Stop it.
Shut up. Just shut up. Let us watch this.
I don't know how you've done all these years. Seeing all the things you've seen, doing all the things you've done.
This also needs
Makes you feel
subtitles.
inhuman after a while.
Captain, you do know Chief Yellowhawk. The Army wants to be certain that the Chief gets home to Montana safely without incident.
You have any idea what he's done? He's a butcher. A The two of you ought to get along just fine. I've killed savages because that's my job. You have no idea what war does to a man. I hate him. I got a war bag of reasons to hate him.
This will be done, and it will be done by you.
Parade's over. Put him in chains.
Oh, Black Mass.
You believe in the Lord, Joseph?
Who was it?
Yes, I do. But he's been blind to what's going on out here for a long time.
If I did not have faith, what would I have?
No, I've killed everything that's walked or crawled. If you do it enough, you get used to it. That's what I'm afraid of. You just gotta take your dues. We both know it could just as easily be you sitting here in these chains.
Sometimes I envy the finality of death. The certainty. And I have to drive those thoughts away when I'm weak.
Understand this. When we lay our heads down out here, we're all prisoners.
I don't know that I like the racism against Native Americans that kind of seems to be rampant throughout this.
Yeah, I think it's pro-racism. It's probably what this movie's going for.
It's really like, I don't know. It just seems.
It's history. It's historical. That's what they're going for.
It depends how they approach it. If it's like
blatant and over the top.
I don't think that.
Like they're savages and they're all wearing face paint and they're all
Solar,
evil.
what are you gonna do? You're gonna watch this movie? Is it a movie? It's a movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be in theaters.
Yeah.
Why is everybody so solemn? You gonna watch this movie? Yeah? No.
I don't want to be pro-racism.
I don't want to be pro mustache.
I'm gonna agree with whatever Kevin's about to say. You better speak for me.
I would hope that the people involved and the director is not just making another like Indian people are bad, let's kill them movie. I'm hoping that the point of this movie, the journey of the character, is that it's confronting his prejudices against Native American people, and I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt that that's what the movie is.
I'd be so surprised if it didn't do that.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it does that.
Or he's just a bad guy and bad guy dies.
Just the way that they portrayed it in the trailer just seems a little worrisome to me, but I'm going to wait.
You're right, it didn't let up.
I mean,
in the trailer.
I don't know. Did it say the director of Black Mass?
Yeah.
Black Mass was
meh.
Kind
I
of
didn't
meh.
see it, so I don't know.
It's kind of meh.
Okay.
So for that reason, I'm like, this movie filmed here. I was actually a part of a project last year that ended up not going to series, but was supposed to go to series. That was very similar to this. It was about a captain or a commander of like a regiment in Texas who was very like anti-Native American, and it was like so much so that it was very clear that like this person is a bad person, and I would assume that this is also what this is trying to do is like just portray this person like these are what people were like, not saying that this is like
we're not pro this.
Yeah, you can have characters that are flawed, and still be like, and just to show people what obviously the history is, but and by showing those characters, we learn as a culture, and that's what I would hope this movie is. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna wait.
If it's like Legends of the Fall, which I really liked, and I think it kind of dealt with that issue in a good way, then maybe I'll watch it. But if it's not, then
side note, Jason.
Yeah.
Was it based off some spaghetti western series?
No, it was Monsters of God.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starring Garrett Dillahunt.
Solar says skip. I'm gonna go Rent again. I'm feeling very like wishy-washy this week. Yeah, if it does very well and or is on Netflix, throw it on.
But I'll probably skip. That doesn't look like a movie I'd watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait and see what the reviews are.
Cool. All right, next one. Sherlock Gnomes. James McAvoy. There's no MAC.
Doesn't matter.
Why?
2018.
Why is this a thing? Stop.
I'm here for Mary J. Blige.
Stop.
That's why I'm here.
Romeo and Juliet are moving to a whole new garden.
All clear.
It's not quite perfect, but it's ours.
Think of all the
Talk
adventures
about
we're gonna
racist.
have. Look, there's a pool. Whoa!
Not all gnomes are British.
I'm okay.
Excuse me.
Oh, God.
Mankini,
That's a good one.
just...
Turn it off.
That's a good one.
I've made a jacuzzi.
Humans coming.
How's everyone? They were supposed to live
I'll explain
happily
why I put
ever
this on
after.
later.
But when their world is in danger,
Juliet, the gnomes, they're all gone.
there's only one gnome to call.
What the fertilizer?
I'm Sherlock Gnomes, sworn protector
Hey, you
of
made me watch the
Darwin.
Money Pit. You gotta watch
You
this
mean-
shit.
The one you
didn't watch the whole thing. It was an hour and a half.
Who's broken?
This March,
All ahead, full, Watson.
those gnomes are in terrible danger. From the director of Kung Fu Panda.
And
Can't let anyone hear
good
this, but
movie.
they're going to smash us all.
Is it just the studio?
We're all going to be
No, it said
smashed
director.
I mean,
Prepare for an adventure.
We have to get across that river. We'll need a ship. No ship, Sherlock.
Into the great unknown.
Our next clue is in the park.
Give us directions quickly.
Just follow the blue line on the ground until you find the giant red thumbtack. Careful, it looks pointy.
James McAvoy, Emily Blunt, Chiwetel Ejiofor,
McAvoy.
Mary J. Blige, and Johnny Depp with original music by Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
We have to go undercover.
let's who's Elton John?
Too forward.
I know Bernie Taupin, but
I said hold.
Forgive me, I've never been the back end of a squirrel before.
Bernie.
Been spotted.
Sherlock
Man, Elton, I really
Gnomes.
like this song.
That's
I'm
not how a
starting to
squirrel
dig this movie.
shakes its behind. Mankini, can you demonstrate?
now
This
You
is
see
the
what I'm
movie for
doing?
me.
See? Do you see?
Yes, you're acting like a rear end.
I'm so in.
Hard
Take
pass.
me to the theaters
Hard,
and do me
hard
hard.
I think any movie that's based on a pun, you have to see.
Dad joke.
Sherlock
the movie.
Gnomes? I mean, we're all pun masters here. This is the movie for us. Can we all go to the theaters?
This looks
Is this gonna-
fucking
This
awful.
makes me never want to watch another movie.
Yep. This is awful.
Solar
This is what
Star-Lord,
it's
are
come
you
to.
with me? You watching this with me?
Oh my god.
Bond? God?
Stop
Anybody
playing
watching
the
this?
trailer. God damn it.
A stupid gnome that's like naked.
Leave it there. Just leave it there.
No.
I do have a friend that makes his girlfriend go and watch all of the really bad, not like the good animated movies. So they go and see like all of the ones that are like the
Yeah.
C grade
Yeah.
animated.
Wow.
Baby.
Yeah.
That's a keeper.
They go.
if
It's
they're
like
still
their
together.
It's their
Yeah.
relationship. It's their thing. They
I
go
love
and they
that.
watch all of these,
That's
and then they talk.
Nice, yeah.
That's like Dylan and
is a
I kind
must
of
watch
watch
for
like
me.
a lot of bad horror movies.
Yeah.
So I think like that's our thing. But
You
like,
guys should watch Friday the 13th.
it's probably
It's
real
really
bad.
bad,
Yeah.
So the reason I put on this stupid, shitty, crappy movie trailer is just so we have something to talk about.
Okay.
Because the last one was off, or like
Pretty heavy.
Was pretty
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
And we like some of the best stuff that's come out of shows like this is like the show that Justin and I watch a lot. Like they watch Angry Birds, and now they have this ongoing thing about how much he fucking hates Angry Birds, and people keep like sending Angry Bird gifts to the set, and like so I just want Sherlock Holmes memorabilia. Is like
Sherlock Gnomes.
No.
No
An
Sherlock
animated,
Gnomes.
I'm sorry.
Animated GIF of that.
I see
man
we do
king.
the
It'll
double.
replace the color
Let's do a
circuit
double
poster.
feature. Let's go see Hostels and then Sherlock Gnomes.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
As a
perfect
palate
combo.
cleanser.
Yeah.
Did anyone see the first one? This is a sequel to.
This is a sequel?
This is a sequel to,
To
Romeo
Nomeo and Juliet. I have not, so I'll
I
be
have
lost.
not seen Nomeo and
Well,
Juliet.
now I have to,
I'll be
otherwise
lost.
I'll be
Yeah.
lost. Yeah.
Guys, I'd rather
Did you see it?
Daddy's Home and Daddy's
I
Home
regret
too.
to say that I have with my
Nieces.
niece and nephew.
Age appropriate, hopefully, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So it's
I
like
mean, other than the
they're building
thong-wearing
like it's like a
gnome
gnome
dancing.
universe.
Yeah, I think they're building a shared universe with this.
What's the logic?
What's the next one's gonna be?
What's another
We gotta
gnome
think of a
pun we
gnome
could
pun.
have? Nobody's gnome.
Nobody's gnome.
Gnome Alone.
Gnome Alone.
Gnome Alone
Gnome
2.
Alone.
There it is.
Back in New
Gnome
York.
Alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is gonna be good. This is promising. I'm just saying. Solar's with me. He's gonna be watching this.
Whenever I see something like this, like they worked on this for
Gnome the
years.
Bell Tolls.
Like computer animation, like
Writing, animation,
at least
acting.
4 years they
Solar
made
Star-Lord,
this movie.
I do like Django Unchained. I think Django Unchained is a very good movie. I would watch it again.
The Girl. I like that.
Yeah. I think that Django Unchained, the message is very clear that racism is a terrible thing. And I could not decipher that from this trailer, the previous trailer. So
And Django.
yeah, so that's the difference.
They like hunt down the most racist character.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the difference.
Leave it there.
Stop this, please.
All right, next.
Is this why we have this show? So we can watch stuff like this? By
Exactly.
God.
Shouldn't be why.
Mosaic. Official trailer number 2 and HBO. original.
Olivia was hit on the jaw, on the left side of her face, by somebody who's right-handed. Your right hand was bruised, red, and swollen.
So what happens now?
A gruesome scene today as the frozen body of Olivia Lake, along with a t-shirt found buried with the body, was discovered.
That's a cool, like, what is that?
Hi, Eric.
What was it about Olivia that drew these men to her, these rubes?
You seem strong. Are you handy?
Where were you on the New Year's Eve that Olivia was killed?
I think he's got like a
What I don't
blue or
understand
reddish.
is why you changed your
does.
story
Cold.
twice.
The choices you make, the sides you pick, they have consequences.
So what's next? I believe my brother is innocent.
Oh, Laura, whatever it is that you think you know, you're wrong.
Why was everyone so fast to convict Eric Neal?
You were in love with Olivia, weren't you?
You need to leave now.
Just pull over. Okay, I will. Gas station. Just pull over, Joel.
I was wrong to think that you might not deserve this.
Don't you talk to me that way.
What did you say?
Masters of Sex is great to
Like this?
Bridges.
Yeah. It's a show where you choose which way you want the show to go.
What? Really?
So it's an app that you watch a show through an app and you.
I
download the
guess
free app
so.
now.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's go to the description for this.
Right?
Or it's brought to you by.
Yeah, so what does
or
it say
maybe
down
it's
there?
through like the HBO Now app or HBO Go app.
It's through an app.
Interesting.
You watch it in the app, or you watch it on like HBO and
You probably watch it in
through
the
your
app because there's no way to connect your HBO to your app that I
Right,
know
unless
of.
it's through like an Apple TV or yeah. I mean, Well, I mean, this is a novelty thing.
Hey, we live in different times.
Right. Well, they did this back in the Dragon's Lair Laserdisc thing. No, I'm serious. There was a movie, like people would be in the theater and they had a controller. Each chair had a controller. Be like, and periodically in the film, I forget what the name of this was, but it was an experiment. Yeah, you would choose like, what do you want to happen? A, B, or C, and people would vote, and then it would jump to whatever scene that was.
Wow.
So this is a updated version, probably a better made version, because it was like a hacky action movie that these people were watching. But it was like that, where you get to direct the movie, if you will, of what will happen. So this is a modern version of this.
I feel like
so the app will be used to make the decisions, and then by the end of November or something of some sort, it's going to be turned. The end of January 2018, it will be a 6-part limited series that will air on HBO.
So it's crowdsourced, basically. The
Pretty much,
results.
yeah.
It's like writing a series, but having your audience make your choices for you, and then
It's a lot like the Telltale games.
So they'll film everything, and the way people use the app will be how it's aired eventually.
But how do you make your decisions?
Wow.
Do you like watch something or do you read something and then?
It seems like a lot of work.
Maybe like a scene and then they'll have a prompt.
I don't want to work. I don't want to do the writer's job
Yeah,
for them.
do your damn job.
No, wait, you're not doing the writer's job.
It's like going to the fucking melting pot, and I was like, I have to cook the meat.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
go to hell. I'm paying a lot of money
You
to
go
sit
to
here.
hell,
I pay a lot of money to be lazy and do nothing.
Amen.
So
Yeah. That's why no subtitles in my films. I don't
Skip.
like to read. Fucking skip.
Wait a second. Wait a
That's
second.
a dumb
Wait.
I'm leaving.
I'm done.
Bullshit.
I am pretty sure it's just
When I created Screen Source, I never thought it would turn to this.
And you know what?
Solar
Sharon
Star-Lord, are
Stone-
you with
Sharon
me? You're gonna
Stone-
watch Gnome with me and Mosaic, please, somebody.
And Sharon Stone is supposed to be the murderer. She's not supposed to be the one that dies. So
Well, she was clearly
Basic
dead.
Instinct. Come on, guys. Do we know nothing about Sharon Stone? Anyway,
Don't fuck with her.
This app is going to be, do you think he did it or she did it? And that is it. You're not right. You're just clicking the thing and then it's going to show you what happened. It's just going to show you the next. It's
Writing
one of those
is a
books.
series of choices.
Choose your own
And
adventure.
Yeah,
Those
they
I'm
wrote it
making the
already.
choices for them.
I'm making the choice to skip.
Oh, I ain't downloading no extra app. Unless I can bake it into Facebook or something.
They might get me like subconsciously. Like I'll just click on something and I'll be like, no,
You voted
no,
for
I
this
didn't
show.
download that. No.
If I can bring back Aaron Brockovich as a choice, like hire Aaron
Sure.
Brockovich,
Like a write-in candidate for the.
then yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a shot.
I applaud them for doing something unique, kind of
Yeah.
something that hasn't been done in a while. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But just, I don't know. I would like to watch just that movie. I'll wait.
Scott
So here's
and
my
I are
real-
gonna watch it.
If you take away like the fun gimmicky part of it, it looks like you're pretty typical.
Running
Yeah,
a
well,
murder
So
mystery.
if
Yeah.
it were just that, I'd be
Whodunit.
like, skip.
Here's
Right.
The
my
only interest comes from the,
yeah.
That's the only thing unique about
and
it.
it also
is that.
just seems tiring. So I don't know.
I would feel like whenever I play games like this, I always feel like I'm missing out on whatever option I'm not following. So like,
Right.
I don't want to like. There might be a phenomenal scene with
That you
Sharon
didn't choose.
Stone and who are other people in that?
I don't
Who's
know.
that other guy? One of the guys I know.
Bridges, Bo Bridges.
Bo
Yeah, Bo
Bridges.
Bridges.
And I don't get to see it because I picked the wrong option.
Right.
Like that's what I would be paranoid about
Right.
the whole time.
Right.
There's no wrong
I
one.
agree with that.
There's a different one.
But like, what if
When there's
they
too
what if
many
they make
options, I
a
don't
great
like it.
scene together and it's well written and it's just like, no, I don't want to see it. I want to see the scene.
Well, that's your choice.
I'm with
Well,
you,
by the end
Jason.
of the app,
That's
what's
exactly
supposed to
why I don't
happen
shop in big.
is-
Oh, I'm sorry, Bon.
You're gonna have to speak up, Bon.
By the end of the app, what's supposed to happen is you're going to compare the different stories that you get from the app to his actual linear narrative.
Oh,
So he has his whole story done.
interesting.
But
God,
there
that's
are
so much
options.
work.
That's what I
You
knew
will
the
see
whole
every
time.
thing.
Well, then tell us.
So
I knew
much
it.
work.
What was there an option? We could have
I agree
picked
with
for you to-
Jason because every time I go to the mall and I have to go into a big store like Forever 21 or H&M, I get so overwhelmed that there are like 3 million options that I just walk out. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going to choose anything. It's too much work. I leave.
Yeah,
the
there's a
mall.
name for that, like the something of choice. And so there's a book written about it. One of the most watched TED Talks. We'll be playing Mosaic on Controller Alt Delete. See you next week. All right, last trailer of the day. I believe it's the final trailer for The
And
Shape
it's a red band.
of Water.
Ooh, I'm excited for this.
I don't know that it doesn't say red band, but
It's
it is
just rated R.
red.
It's
But
red.
usually when it's red, doesn't that mean?
Usually, yeah, but
You better say fucking this.
or fucking this.
They better be fucking.
You clean that lab, you get out.
She deaf?
Mute, sir. She can hear you.
The thing we keep in there is an affront. And I should know I dragged it all the way here.
They gave away a big.
A lot of blood.
That could happen at the
What
beginning.
went on in here?
It was you that found my fingers. There was mustard on them.
The Soviets want it. We know that much.
We need to take it apart, learn how it works.
What happened?
It's an animal, just keeping it tame.
I can either save him or let him die.
Don't do this, Eliza. Don't do this.
I'm gonna be synchronizing our watches just like they do in the movies.
Oh, woman, we gonna burn in hell.
The asset. Do you have it?
Sure, I'm getting it back.
Our concern is the Russians. And fuck this mess.
You delivered, right? Right?
We didn't see nothing.
What am I doing? Interviewing the shit cleaners.
He's a wild creature. We can't ask him to be anything else.
Cool editing.
You were speaking Russian, Bob! Where is it? Sit down!
Finish the job, son.
Eliza, honey, he's coming for you.
I don't need to watch it anymore.
There's a lot going on in this movie.
Ooh, they just give away everything. But it was a good trailer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Alexander Desplat is, I don't know if that's how you say his name, but he is
So good.
He is a great composer of music for
Mhm.
movies and sounds beautiful. The soundtrack.
Yeah,
of
that
this.
was gorgeous.
Mhm.
I'm very excited.
Mhm.
That is a fantastic cast.
Mhm.
Michael Shannon.
Octavia.
Octavia.
Love me some Octavia.
What's her name?
Sally Hawkins.
Sally Hawkins.
Mhm.
I haven't seen her in a lot of stuff. I saw her in Blue Jasmine. She's awesome.
Yeah, she was good in that.
It's my favorite Louis
Michael
movie.
What? Barg.
Stolberg. Something.
Stolberg.
Louis?
Oh, yeah, he was in that actually. I think so.
That's why I loved it.
Stop it.
Is he? Is that
Just
him?
stop it.
I think he's in the movie.
He's in the movie,
he's in
but it's
it,
not
but
him. It's a Woody Allen movie, right?
Yeah, it's a
Blue
Woody Allen
Jasmine?
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in it. But
I'm confused.
Mhm. But anyway.
But
I think
Watch
it
for
looks
Watch.
I'll
and
watch
it's about
this.
a merman.
Which is a muted
It's
part
like
of
the creature from the Blue Lagoon or Black Lagoon,
Yeah.
whatever is
Yep.
what it looks more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like the idea that there's a mute person that's kind of communicating with this fish creature. They don't have English. She doesn't have like English as her primary. I mean, she does, but yeah, it's just fun. Fun to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will definitely see this.
Yeah, we should all go watch it in theaters, holding hands.
Guillermo. I love Guillermo.
Guillermo, I don't love you, but you got cool aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, aesthetic.
And that is it for this week's episode of Screen Source. Screen Source happens every week, Sunday, 3 p.m. MST on twitch.tv/Color Circuit Live. Thank you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sherlock Gnomes, 2 weekends from now. We'll see you guys there.
Can't wait.
Keep your eyes open for Sherlock Gnomes coming out in theaters near you soon. Bye-bye.
You take anything from this